Welcome to our postseason, uh, off season, the NBA draft watch along. There's a lot of different things we're doing in one show. Well, as we watch the draft, we'll be talking about the NBA season we just had and what we look forward to in the summer. Anyway, this is our first time as Much Ado About Nothing doing this. So, welcome to our first NBA show as Much Ado About Nothing, or at least back again. Long story. Point is, we're back. We're doing this show. Guys, introduce yourselves, Juan.
What's going on, guys? Very excited to talk basketball now that the season's over.
Mm. Did
What's up, everybody? I'm also excited to talk basketball. Sounds like nobody else here is excited for the draft. I am excited for the draft.
I'm excited. I'm excited for that. Of course I am. I'm here every year for this. And I don't know much about it because I have no skin in the game this year. We don't have to pick. We don't pick till like 50. So
Yeah, I don't think we picked till late either.
yeah, I have all our picks up and like when we pick and all that. But that's obviously our teams are not the fortunate ones today. That's primarily because we're good. But some people are good and have picks.
I was
Those
gonna
are
say,
nice.
well, one doesn't usually rule out the other.
Well,
No.
we've had to trade picks to get these good players. Is what's
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
Especially us in the last year or so, year and a half or two. We've kind of just rattled off all our current picks. Anyway, um, there's 5 minutes on the clock. Dallas is gonna pick. We pretty much know who they're gonna pick.
Great White Hope, like they always do.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I guess we'll get back to it when they actually make the announcement. But there was a big name. Shit, I've heard his name for years now. So it's about time he'll do it. And he's gonna be the number one pick. So good for him. He's lived up to the hype.
Cooper Flag do be balling.
Oh,
But as
very well deserving of being that pick. I'm just saying, that's just the Mavericks mo.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean,
That-
that's
Never comes
That
in
Cooper Flag Mavs jersey is about to go triple platinum in fraternity houses.
Oh my
oh
goodness.
yeah,
Oh my goodness.
yes, Yay Sports indeed, DJ. Thanks for
I will say, dude,
thanks for
all
coming.
all the hate what's his name got for trading Luca is gonna go right out of the window today. I'm sorry, in like 5 seconds when Cooper walks that stage, they're gonna go, oh, okay, I feel better now. Yeah, like we got.
They
Cooper.
still might hate him because they still might be like, we could have had both.
I mean, Luca would have to go
Oh.
on and win a championship in LA for them to start
We got a director for James Bond apparently.
for what?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Denis Villeneuve.
Oh, wow. I mean, oof. Okay.
You don't like Denny?
No, I love Denny. Denny's a very long form kind of director, so I'm very interested to see how he goes about
Mm-mm.
James Bond.
Yeah. Should be
I know
fun.
that's not everyone's cup of tea. It works for me, but it's not everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
don't want to go another 10 years without a James Bond, so I'm very interested to see what he pitched to them. That was so great that he got it.
Yeah, good for him. Shit, that's cool. I mean, this
We
obviously
should
this
have a
is very
casting by the
off-topic.
end of the year, so that works.
What happened?
We should have a casting by the end of the year, so that works.
We absolutely should. That would be nice if we got one of those. But we got directed first. This is not actually this is completely off topic. So, um, the pick's about to come up, but I guess until then. Oh, the pick is in. I'm so sorry. I guess it jumped
Well,
in. I don't know the poll hold. Why make us wait? We know exactly what you're doing.
Exactly. But my question to you is, since Dallas is the first pick, should we just attack each team as they are drafting and do it that way?
I don't have it. I don't have it in that order, but we can. We can do that.
No, I thought that would be easier for you.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't. But that's fine. I can make that work.
No, don't worry. Forget I said it. Don't worry about it.
No. I mean, I could do it, but I would have to look for it, and it's gonna look all sloppy and shit. So that's fine. But I'll make it work. Watch.
Well, wait. While you do that, obviously we all know they're going Cooper.
Obviously.
So did we want to talk finals Or
Yeah, let's talk finals while they do they get to the next pick, and I bring
Okay.
up the next slide. I bring up the Dallas Mavericks slide. So what do you guys did think about the finals anyway?
I thought it was boring, and I thought if anything proven that it was completely proven that NBA is not rigged. Because if NBA was rigged, I could not imagine that the NBA would have not wanted Minnesota and New York. There was just no storyline going in. If I was a Knicks fan, I would have 100% been bored out of my mind. The only reason why this was even slightly entertaining was the idea of the Pacers losing. Now,
Right.
mind you, if I was in control, they would have lost in 4, or in 3, or in 2. I don't need to get them out of there. But outside of that, it was just like, I don't know, man. You know what it honestly felt like? It felt like, when people hype up Final Four in college.
Yeah.
I remember they hyped up my aunt always watches it every year religiously. She does not play about Final Four, even the whole aspect of March Madness. Man, I remember I started watching it. I was just like, there's a lot of passing. A lot of passing. Great team ball.
I mean,
I'm bored as shit. I need some ISOs. I need to see, all right, who's the best on this team? I need some of that action. All this teamwork is very Spurs. And I didn't like that shit at all. That's very boring.
That's good basketball, though.
That's what everyone says. God bless you. I'm from the Allen Iverson school of watching basketball. I like ISOs. Very much so. Very much enjoyed it when Melo did it here. So for me, I was bored out of my mind, but I got the result that I wanted. I wanted OKC to win, and they did. Very happy camper. Very happy. And last thing, Didge, before you go, I do want to add this. I've seen a lot of people say this, and I think two things can be true. No one should be celebrating Tyrese Halliburton getting hurt. That's not remotely funny. That's not cool. Obviously, both of our teams over the last couple of years have faced all these injuries and whatnot. So that's not cool whatsoever. But I can be very happy that his injury resulted 100% in that team losing Game 7. I think two things can be true. That's not cool that he got injured. But I'm very happy that almost demoralized that team to losing that game. I don't think I'm a bad person for saying that. I can acknowledge horrible injury. But I needed the Pacers to lose. I could not have had that on my conscience. I couldn't. It'd be like telling me the Jets just won the Super Bowl. I wouldn't be able to sleep ever. Can't do that shit. So for me, I rest soundly. Actually, it was the best night of sleep I've ever got. So I'm just saying, I was bored, but I enjoyed the outcome.
Okay. Didge? Were you bored?
No, that's a very interesting take to say that this was a boring finals. I think it's an incorrect take. From the game 1 buzzer beater to game 2 or game 3 and game 4 both being comebacks to the other team winning, to game 6? No, it was game 5 where it's pretty much back and forth. Game 6, Indy played crazily to fight for their lives, and then yes, it all ended horribly with Halliburton's injury, but this was one of the more entertaining finals in a long time, and I despise one of the teams. So I don't need a storyline to say that I need a finals. And I'm not even coming at, I know Jawan just said it, but that seems to be the tagline that so many people said, oh, there were no stories for this finals. It was just really good basketball. That's the story, and that's why we're supposed to be watching the sport. I don't know. That's all I got.
Well, a response to that is, to me, I think good basketball, I don't think I've ever seen a finals that didn't have good basketball. I think what makes it an entertaining finals is that there is something, think about it, the Super Bowl, right? Eagles-Chiefs. The storyline was no one wanted the Chiefs to win. Everyone was sick of Taylor Swift, sick of Travis Kelce, sick of Patrick Mahomes. You had someone to hate. There was no one to hate, which means it relied solely on just good basketball. A lot of casual basketball fans aren't interested in just good basketball. They need a story.
Casual fans. Casual fans are why we have the fans.
I don't even know what its numbers did. Was this one of the highest rated finals in like
No,
the
because
last 10
casual
years?
fans say the same thing that you're saying, and this is the reason why ESPN does what ESPN does. I don't care about them. ESPN is terrible for basketball. Casual fans are terrible for basketball. I just want good basketball.
I get that. I'm just saying it's very rare you don't get both. That's when the finals are the best. Is when you have a storyline connected to really good basketball. That's usually when it does its best.
Ooh, Mike's here.
I'm just saying, for that to be the general consensus, might be some truth to it.
Michael, how would you like to respond?
I'm still grasping what we're talking about. We're just talking about our thoughts on the finals.
Yeah.
Feels like okay. It was a good finals. I'm leaning more towards Ditch's direction on this one, mainly because it was just good hoops, and I feel like Juwan's not wrong on most people want more than just good hoops, but I do think that's a product of how we talk about the game. Like, first off, why was Kevin Durant allowed to be traded right before Game 7 of the NBA Finals?
Yeah, I really thought they
You
were.
needed something. Like,
But it's
you needed something.
football doesn't allow that. That's my point. The football kind of lets the sport speak for itself a little bit, where it's like you're not going to see Aaron Rodgers side with the Steelers right before kickoff of the Super Bowl. You know, like that just doesn't happen. We need to put focus on the sport. We just had a team have one of the best seasons in NBA history, and nobody talked about it. Like they had 68 wins, and they won a chip, the second youngest team to ever do so. But instead, we're talking about Giannis trade rumors, or is LeBron going to retire, or Bronny all season long. And it leads to there's no storylines when we get here. When the storyline should have been the Oklahoma City Thunder had one of the best seasons in NBA history. The storyline should have been the Indiana Pacers were probably the biggest Cinderella in recent memory. Like nobody expected that team to get to the finals, let alone push this team to 7 games. And they might have won it if Tyrese Halliburton didn't pop that Achilles in the first quarter. It was a great finals, even though I'm not a fan of the Pacers. They balled. This was a great watch.
Yeah, they were annoyingly consistent.
Hi, Trevon. Welcome. No, but yeah, like it was an entertaining finals. I do think we just need to change how we talk about the league as a whole, because for us to say that there weren't any storylines means that we didn't allow the game to speak for itself. Because second youngest team in NBA history to win a championship, and they won 68 games all season with the MVP and the scoring champ, should have been a storyline, but we didn't allow it to become a storyline.
It's NBA media. NBA media wants to talk about the same 7 franchises all the time, and they'll sprinkle in other franchises because they'll have a player like a Giannis or a Wemby. But what they try to do is, hey, they should move to one of those 7 damn franchises. And so it's like, this is why we get what we get. It starts from the top down. Like NBA media, and we've talked about it all year, Mike and Joel, about how NBA media hurts the game so much because everything is so storyline driven, but they don't know how to create a storyline. Like, you guys are wrestling fans. Wrestling creates storylines all the time, and sure, because they know that you need to create stars. You need to create people who you want to talk about. So when the NBA media does the same thing over and over, and then at the end of the year goes, well, there was just no story. It's like, well, yeah, because you didn't do your job. And fans just accept that. Fans shouldn't accept that.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sorry.
Well, I was just going to add that I was talking to family right before we get into Game 7, right? Because it's Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Even if you're a casual watcher, you're tuning into Game 7 of the NBA Finals. And I was talking to some family, and they were like, yeah, I hate how the league is just nothing but threes, and the Warriors ruined the sport. I'm like, if you think this series has been nothing but threes, you weren't watching. Everything you want, the 2000 style hoops that you want, was in this series. But you didn't know it, and we didn't talk about it. Nobody talks about how Shea is not a Steph Curry like 3-point shooter, right? About how he gets in the paint, about how Halliburton is the truest point guard all-star we've probably had in a long time. Those are the things that don't get talked about, and it's annoying because the things that casuals complain about this league, they got in this finals, but they didn't even know it because they didn't watch it. It is crazy to me.
That's fair.
Well, I mean,
before
sorry.
you continue, the Spurs did just pick. They picked Dylan Harper with the second pick. Dylan Harper out of Rutgers, big point guard. I've seen comparisons and runs him out. I don't know if that's completely correct considering how big he is, but like that could be true. I've never seen enough of him, honestly.
That's Ron Harper's
Joel-
son.
Yeah, I think it's the second set.
I missed the first pick. Did anything unsuspecting happen?
No, not
Okay.
at all.
I thought I'd
He's
ask.
flagged, Harper. So far,
You knew it was Cooper flagging.
I just had to check. I had to
The
see. I had to
the
see.
Mavs not gonna mess up twice in the same year.
Listen,
one and
man,
two, back to
If
back.
the Celtics offered them Jaylen Brown for that first pick, I would have just known the fix was in. Okay.
They might have ran Nico Harrison
I'm
out of
still
Dallas if
upset
that would have
they
happened.
fucking won the lottery, but whatever. They good to them. We'll talk about them in a minute. Juwan, let you finish what you were saying.
Oh no, I mean we can go to you, Joel, for your thoughts. I was speaking more so to what Didge was saying is that I
Damn it, DJ.
I agree and disagree. I don't think the NBA. I don't think how people talk about the NBA is the issue. I think the NBA forcing teams and forcing players to prove themselves. Because OKC, to a degree, is having a start quite like Golden State did, to where it was kind of just like, okay, like they're on the rise, but like we're not going to give them the attention that they deserve, so they prove it. So for me, it's like if we go into next season and the conversation is anything but OKC, and they're continuing to do next year what they did this year, because remember, there was not a lot of talk about both Tatum and Brown. It's why they were kind of let off the hook by not beating the Knicks.
Isn't that part of the problem, though? Shouldn't we live in the moment? Like, we should notice that they won 68 games. Like, that should have been the
I
conversation.
don't disagree.
Right?
I don't disagree. But unfortunately, the flip side of what you and Didge are saying are the Cavaliers. It's that it can be fugazi. It can look good, and then when the rubber meets the road, they are fugazi. So it's like you don't put all that marketing dollars behind it, and then they can't get where they need to get. So
Yes,
once they get there,
But
That's what I'm
that
saying.
that is the story, though, right?
Right.
Like, this
Yeah.
team was great all year, and then they choked. That is the story. That is the surprise. That is the narrative that we're searching for, right?
And
Well,
ESPN
no, with the
shouldn't be
Cavs,
leading
yeah,
their-
but I'm saying them losing is now not a story because like they lost.
But that
The
is,
Spurs
I
didn't
think, to
win
Mike's
the
point
Celtics.
though, that is the story. It's this was the ushering of the new guard, and one fell short. ESPN shouldn't be relying on how can I is my marketing dollars who I should talk about when you're supposed to be the worldwide leader in sports. Like you're supposed to be talking about the game, and we get first take. We get first take. We get what is Greeny's show? I don't even know what it's
Oh,
it's
get up.
called. Get
Yeah.
up. Like everything is so much around. We're going to create storylines around again the same 7 teams and maybe 12 players. Let's be charitable. And I think to Mike's point, the best team in the league wasn't one of those stories. The MVP, the Finals MVP, wasn't one of those stories. It's just weird. And basketball really is the only sport that does that.
No, I disagree. Baseball does that.
Oh, I don't watch baseball, so I guess fair. I couldn't tell you. I don't watch baseball. So fair.
I only say that because when people talk about baseball, like right now, the conversation in baseball is Ohtani and Judge. That's what it's going to be till one of them retires. That's just it is what it is. Those are the only 2 faces running baseball right now. So for
That's
me,
fair. I hear about Juan Soto a lot.
Juan Soto for us is doing good, but Juan Soto is not. He's
National
not as
story.
sexy as.
But I
Aaron
feel like
Judge.
we have these complaints too, though, in baseball of like, why are we only talking about the Yankees and Red Sox? Why aren't
Because it's
other
not-
teams in contention? That's my point. So we can't say we want all teams to be relevant and then complain when the team in Oklahoma City is relevant. You know, that's just kind of the thing. Like, you guys even know how they talk about your Knicks for so many years, where it's like no matter how well Brunson or them may play, it would always be like, yeah, but can the Knicks do X, Y, Z? It's like, hey, let's just live in the moment. The Knicks are a 2 seed or a 3 seed or whatever they got to, right? And they were building into something. You're not going to have a narrative unless you see it happen, right? You don't wait for Oklahoma City to win a championship to then talk about them. You talk
Okay.
about the process as you get there, right?
So I'm glad you said that the way that you did, and I'm glad Didge said what he said, because now it's crystal clear to me we're saying the exact same thing. Here's why. You guys are saying how sports should be talked about, right? I'm saying, being a Knicks fan, I know that's never going to be the case. And like you said, that is what's wrong with it, but it's just never going to change. They need the sexier headline. It does not matter how it might denigrate the sport or how it might not progress these smaller markets that could become larger markets. They need they need to sell it to people that will never watch all 82 games, right? And unfortunately, that is the realism of what's going on. That's why no one could name you 5 players on the Chiefs, but they could name you the Chiefs storyline. They could name you Mahomes and Swift and
that's again, the Chiefs became a storyline. They're a team in Kansas City, right? Like, they're not the Cowboys, but they still were allowed to become a storyline. That's the difference in the NFL, where the Green Bay Packers could be a storied franchise.
Mm-hmm.
And not have to be the Lakers or the Celtics or be in a big market. And that's what Commissioner Silver was saying like a week ago. Green Bay is the smallest market in sports. Come on, don't question that.
No. Green Bay, like, established football. So I'm like, it's a little different. It's a little different for Green Bay.
But back to the Kansas City Chiefs, though, is that they're still a very small market. Right. But since they were good, we allowed Mahomes drive that conversation. We didn't just say, oh, yeah, but Mahomes needs to go to New York, or Mahomes needs to go to LA, or he needs to go to Dallas, right? Like, we just embraced where the superstar was, talked about how good the team was, how good the player was. And I think that's kind of why people feel the way they do about the NBA, is because your MVP just won the title. That's it right there. Like, the best player in basketball just won his first championship. That city won their first championship.
Even outside of, like, using the Green Bay as an example, Buffalo is a super small. Buffalo is the second smallest market in the league.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, I think, is bottom 10.
Yeah.
Who else do you got? There's another. Nashville isn't a huge market. Like, those are all cities that they are known, but they're not super large markets.
Mm-hmm.
And they are, at one point in time or another, like, obviously Buffalo is very much in the sort of upper echelon of the league right now. Green Bay and Pittsburgh are probably eternal just from their storied history, but even Tennessee had their day. And during those times when they were going to AFC championship, NFC championships, and Super Bowls, everyone wasn't going, oh man, it should have been the Jets, it should have been the Giants, it should have been the Rams. It's really great that these markets are getting that. That's why, everyone was so pumped that Green Bay got the draft. The NBA would never do that because of the way that they talk about the NBA.
Fair enough.
You're not wrong. Blame Jordan.
Philadelphia just picked at the 3rd pick VJ Edgecombe, Baylor. I would say he's
what the fuck that is.
a Westbrook type point guard, common guard. Very athletic. You'll get to know him soon. I'm very curious how Philly manages, but I mean, it's a good pick because you take best player available. They have already 2 really good guards.
Can I give a hot take on this draft so far?
3 picks in, already have hot takes.
Yeah, I am very shocked that Philly, of all teams, did not think about maybe trading that draft pick, seeing as though can't really depend on Embiid. I don't know who's taking Paul George unless, like, you package him with something. I'm really shocked that this team is still valuing certain things like that, but still committing to the win now. It's very confusing where it's going in Philly.
Are they committing to win now? Is that what's happening?
This was news to me, to be honest.
Right, like them keeping the pick and like shopping Paul George feels like they want to like do a mini rebuild. I'd say a retooling.
Well, that's what I'm
maybe.
saying. What's confusing about that is that you have an aging, injury-prone big. To go through a rebuild with that guy might be the wrong decision. To trade that guy and then go through a rebuild with Maxey makes sense. But not
I don't know if they can because of that contract. Remember, now the second apron is coming into effect. That's why you're seeing a lot of these trades too. It's the
if you think Utah wouldn't take Joel Embiid right now, you are crazy.
I don't know what Utah's cap space is like.
Utah's cap space, I'm sure, is like in the negative at this point because
I mean, who's Utah paying? Like,
I don't
that'd be my question. Who the hell are they paying?
That feels like a place where you go to offload contracts. They might be. They might
That's
be
what I'm
bad.
saying. I'm like, all I'm saying is, I think we can all agree, all jokes aside, there's at least 15 teams that would easily open up space to go get Joel Embiid if he became available. Contract or not, they would go get Joel Embiid. I just don't know what. To me, I just wouldn't want to go through a rebuild knowing that my big is that injury prone, and I went out and got Paul George, who's also the same thing.
There you
well, I
go.
mean,
Oh
That's
look,
bad.
they're under the first apron. So never mind. I got nothing else then.
well, yeah, that's why they're shopping Paul George, and they don't need to shop Joel Embiid. They don't need to get rid of Embiid.
No,
That's really what it comes down to.
Why would you keep him if your mindset is you're going through a rebuild? How much more better do you think you can make this team through the draft? Is
Well,
what I'm saying.
now I have a new statement. Look how many free agents they have. They have no one else. They can't start getting rid of people.
Right.
Well, Joel Embiid would get you back a lot.
Also,
He would
I
get
mean,
you back a lot.
this is a top 3 pick. I mean, they probably assume that the rookie will be able to provide some value. It's for his first year, right? It's not like, oh, we're going to hold him and develop him in 3 or 4 years. So
Yeah.
if you're looking at all these free agents, you just put in a guy who can probably provide decent amount of value, who's going to be on a rookie contract. I can see the logic there.
I love you saying that because looking at this starting lineup, you go Maxey drafted, correct? By Philly. Joel Embiid drafted by Philly. Jared drafted by Philly. To me, I mean, unless I'm wrong here, that seems to be it of their high draft picks over the last 5 years. They don't seem to hang on to these guys. So for me, it's just the idea of, will you value this pick and hold on to it? Will you try to package this pick in 2 or 3 years when you ruin them? I don't know what this franchise.
Ruin him is
you're telling
crazy.
me.
Ruin
is-
him was
Hold
so
on,
disrespectful.
Come out.
It
Hold
is Philly, though, so you
It
ain't wrong.
is.
I'm out. Hold on. Let's go through the list, right? You got Nerlens Noel, Ben Simmons.
Nerlens Noel was balling for a while.
So is Ben Simmons.
After Ben Simmons, you got who's the lefty shooter that went to Orlando? Who's now
Markel Fultz.
Fultz,
Michael Carter Williams.
Michael Carter Williams, who was Rookie of the Year. Like, I'm not making this up. They do not have a good track record of these high picks. Don't forget the center. What's the center? Jahlil Okafor.
You know, Jawan, stop making sense.
I'm just saying. To me, if you're telling
Every
me,
day it gets worse and worse.
Jahlil Okafor almost got a ring this year. What y'all mean?
okay, was he the best player on the team?
Hey,
Top five best player on the
he
team?
was gonna have, he almost got a ring.
Let's
His
play
team-
on that G League team he plays for.
his team came into game 10. I didn't know he was on the Pacers, so I literally just googled him.
I'm just
Nah.
saying,
that out.
if you're telling me
He
that
played
you
for like
think
a second.
the Sixers,
But
are
it doesn't
going
matter. He
to
would have got a
rebuild,
ring. That's all I'm saying, Joel.
I'm just saying.
If you're telling me that the Sixers are going to rebuild, I'm just saying if I'm the Sixers, just be very careful with how you use that term, because rebuild to most people sounds like you're tearing it down and starting over. That's
Well-
not what you're doing. What I think you mean is that it's a soft rebuild where you're just retooling. Really, it's not
Well-
even like that. You're just retooling.
To be fair, I'm sorry, Mike. I know you were about to say something. This will be
You're
quick.
good.
Based off of what you just said, do you really want to trust them with a full rebuild? Like, you better keep as much assets as you can.
No, but that's my point. You trade Joel Embiid not for draft picks. Well, obviously you would get draft picks, but those aren't your focus. Your focus is on
Oh, okay.
your back, because Maxey, I believe, can be a future perennial All-Star. That's
Okay.
how talented he is. I think
Okay.
McCain could be a future Sixth Man of the Year. That's how
fair,
talented
then.
he is. So it's
McCain
not
might- is he
you're
one of the
starting
free
from
agents?
zero.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
okay,
he's
McCain.
fucking
Still
great.
He
there.
was a rookie last year. His second year.
Man, this is a lot of names on the free agency list.
Yeah,
Last
I don't
season
know.
was so long. I can't believe that
Some
was
of them
just
are
his
old,
rookie year.
bitch. Like, you're not really thinking much about Kyle Lowry, Andre Drummond,
are-
Eric Gordon.
I'm not even talking about the quality of the names. That's just a lot. Like, that's over half your team.
You gotta remember, like 3 of them are player options. They're probably gonna pick up the left.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
One of them's restricted, like Quentin Grimes restricted, so they get the right to match any offer he gets. And then the other is
What
the
they
team
should do-
options.
He played really well towards the end of the season. Played really well.
Yeah, and then you got like 3 team options. Crazy enough, and those they can.
Hey,
That's
Wisconsin.
Just
Well, he's out of Duke, but Con Canute, I don't know how to
oh,
pronounce his last
he's
name.
going to Charlotte. Okay.
Yeah, he's out of Wisconsin Lutheran.
Is
I'm
he?
sorry,
Okay.
he's going to Charlotte. My
Yeah, I
condolences.
mean, you know,
He's
Get
one
the
of them
money, though.
snipers, right?
get that money. But
That was the other Duke white guy. That was that's what That's what this
I
was.
love your description. That's the other Duke white boy.
Yeah, he was the shooter.
It's the other Duke
he,
white.
he was he was the shorter one.
The shorter one. It's crazy.
So, dude.
But yeah, just before we move off of the Sixers, I was just gonna add, it's because we look at everything like in extremes. You're either in trying to build for contention or you're trying to rebuild your roster entirely. And it's like, what do you trade? Like if we trade Joel Embiid,
Mhm.
what are we getting back from Utah? Right? Like, or if you
Laurie
keep him,
Markkinen. I just looked. I'm not kidding. I looked it up. That was probably their best player.
He's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, our market is good.
he is, but it's also like if we're trying to do a proper rebuild and we're trying to surround Maxey now with talent,
You know that's tough.
we're like 6 years away, maybe. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like you keep the draft pick, you keep Embiid since he's under contract, and it doesn't seem like he's asked to be traded yet. And it's like, hey, maybe we can get back in the playoffs next year. That's why it's like I don't think they're building to championship contention, but they got to get back in the playoffs. That's where you start.
Yeah.
I don't know if
And
you
they-
completely tear it down yet.
And like we were just saying, some of these guys are going to be free agents, so they're going to need they have the roster space. It's a good guard to add to their rotation.
Yeah.
He's just another weapon they could add. So
And somebody
really-
might step up with, like let's say Eric Gordon walks. Somebody lower might step up with that extra playing time.
or I mean,
I
look,
tell you what.
that's an upgrade over Kyle Lowry.
If you're saying
Especially at this
Joel
age.
Embiid, I won't argue. But it begins with what you get back for Paul George.
And that's fair. That's the first
Uh,
domino to fall for sure.
Okay.
If they
If
finally
you
take
get
her.
back a lot of solid rotational players for Paul George, which might be the best you can do at this point, coming off of an injury, then fine, no problem. But to me, I've been watching Embiid since he was drafted, and I can tell you, I think he's had more injury seasons than full
Yeah.
seasons. So it's like
They had the stat like a few months ago where it's like he's missed more games than he's played in his career, which is
right.
crazy.
So I'm like, if you're the Sixers, at some point you do have to get off the train, because if you keep letting it go,
I'm glad you continued that statement.
he'll
The word train didn't help it.
It didn't, but it was better. It was better
But-
than it was.
You just don't want him to get too old, and then you're like, he's too old and too injury prone. I now can't move him, and now I'm just stuck with him. That's
You
all.
gotta
I'm-
trust the process, bro. Come on.
Oh,
And it's
God.
worked out so well, right? They have at least 3 championships since then, right? Since those words were uttered. Right? No? Oh, well, Just saying. I don't know what else this franchise can do, man. I really don't.
Are we going to talk about Charlotte? Do we have to?
I mean, we don't have to, but like,
No, we should. I guess they're
Yeah.
a young team potentially on the rise.
Oh, for Jamie's sake, we have to talk Charlotte.
Yeah,
No, that's fair.
fair enough.
Even Jamie don't claim them anymore though.
She don't.
So
I don't know. Last time we were disrespecting them, Jamie wasn't too happy. So I said, all right, relax. He was like, oh, all right. Didn't know you still claimed it.
No, I actually do think Charlotte could be on the rise next year, especially with the Tatum injury.
Well, almost. There should be at least 3 or 4 teams that were bubbling that
Mhm.
should find this vacancy that I still believe the Pacers will leave. I believe.
Oh yeah, with Tyrese Halliburton, I
Right.
don't know how much of a championship hangover or a finals hangover rather in their case, combined with that injury, is going to hurt them, especially beginning of the year. Like they'll probably right the ship, but
Mhm.
beginning of the year it could be rough.
I mean, unless they get like a really, really, really solid like I don't think you can get back to top 5 with TJ being your starting point guard. I don't. I personally don't.
you don't like him just running down mid every single possession?
No, not at all.
Man's got one play. It's just the halfback dive and Madden. He's just going for it.
And burns it down trying to utilize that one move. But yeah, no, I don't think you can. But looking at this team, I'll say this. I know a lot of people talked about LaMelo being maybe a name that gets shopped around. That's something I believe you don't do. You don't shop that around. Not when it looks. Charlotte should try to figure out what Detroit did right and try to do that, right? Because I think Detroit will be even better next year, getting back some of the pieces they lost to injury, maybe getting a couple things of free agency, whatever they do in the draft here. I think that team can be better than they were last year. So if you're Charlotte, you have the talent. It's not like you have bums. This isn't like Michael Jordan drafting. You know what I'm saying? You have talent. You just have to figure out a way to utilize said talent. And I think their biggest problem is that on any given night, it does not seem like they complement LaMelo.
No, to be honest, the biggest thing that hurt Charlotte last year was injuries. LaMelo played like 40 games. Brandon Miller played like 30 games. And those are probably outside of Miles Bridges, your two best players. So it's like when 2/3 of your core are hurt, what can you do?
Yeah. So this is their time to showcase it. But I damn sure don't think you ever shot LaMelo Ball. That's crazy as hell.
No, I think you have to give them a little bit more time to be healthy and play together.
Yeah.
If they're healthy, they'll definitely fight the Bulls and the Heat in that 7-10 matchup in the play-in.
Yeah. But you're at least giving them a chance to be in the running for it. So I mean,
that's a huge improvement from where they've been.
Yeah,
so we'll take it.
Shout out to 90-year-old Taj Gibson. Love to see him walking in with his walker each game. Love that.
I was gonna say, you guys were talking about the problem with this team. I'm like, why is Taj Gibson still getting minutes? Like that's part of the problem.
I ain't gonna hold you. I had to look it up because I'm like, there's got to be another dude with the same name. Ain't no way he's still in the league.
Nope, still Taj Gibson. Yep, still Taj.
Stay Taj.
That's still Taj.
Ace, all right. 5th pick of the Utah Jazz select Ace Bailey, the other Rutgers star player.
Bailey.
I know he's.
Who's the guy that said he wasn't going to work out for anyone? Was that Ace Bailey?
Yeah, it's Ace Bailey. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Wait,
worked out.
And now he's been exiled to Utah.
Was he top 5?
Yeah,
Top
that's
5.
the thing. Worked out for him. I
Everyone
mean,
was bitching about he wouldn't be top 5 because he refused to work out for anyone. I'm just like, I don't think that's how that works. I don't think you say no to good talent because he doesn't want to show off for you. I don't think you want to be that guy that missed out on a guy, right?
That's fair.
he is very much exiled to Utah, though, like Joel said.
It is. Let's bring up Utah real quick.
I mean, look, I was wrong this last season about Utah. But who knows? Maybe the more I say it, the more it gives them the opportunity to get better.
They had the worst record in the league.
They definitely tanked at the end, though.
Oh yeah, for sure. But still,
I don't even know how you're that bad and find a way to tank. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're already bad. Is it called tank at that point? You're just doing what you've been doing all year.
I imagine being so bad that people say you don't even have to tank, bro. That is embarrassing.
yeah, that was mean.
I mean, look, I'll say this. Talk about maybe selling off parts to make yourself whole. This is a team that should be looking at it like Jordan Clarkson. You should finally let him be. You know, let him go, right?
Yeah.
Colin Sexton, that's a piece that can get you something. Laurie is a piece that can get you something. And apparently Walker Kessler's been wanted by everybody. If you listen to rumors.
On the lips of everybody.
Yeah, so I'm like, you have pieces that can go get you stuff. You know what I'm saying? If you want to keep tanking and getting younger, right? And rebuilding that way. So they have great options. It just they haven't what is he, their GM? What is the asshole that doesn't want to trade with anybody? Unless he's getting like your firstborn and then your firstborn's firstborn.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Who's the GM for the
former Celtic GM?
Oh, Danny Ainge?
Yes, Danny Ainge. Yes.
I forgot that he was there.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Bro, I will never forget when the rumors came out that the Knicks wanted Walker Kessler. They were talking some crazy shit like, yeah, Danny Ainge wants a first-round pick. I'm like, I'm sorry. Hold on. Wait. Walker Kessler? Like I'm very confused on who he thinks Walker Kessler is. That's some crazy ass shit. So I'm like, he's very arrogant. We obviously know what he did with the whole Knicks and Donovan Mitchell. So I don't know. To me, I think this team should be a big seller. It's crazy as it is. I think they
You
should.
You got to update your color scheme for the Jazz. That is no longer their colors.
I know, but they haven't officially released them. So until they do,
They did. They showed
They
the new
ch-
jerseys.
They
No,
changed their
They showed
colors.
it-
Hold on, I
they
missed
showed it
it.
here, but I don't see it on the website yet. I know the plan was to change their colors.
Yeah. Here, Mike. I'll post the link in private chat. Yeah, they essentially went back to
Purple. I know. It's purple,
yeah, the
light
purple.
blue,
Yeah.
mountain purple. I know.
Well, no, I'm just gonna show because Mike didn't know, so I'm just showing him the NBA.
Yeah, I
they had a
missed
press release.
Show the logo. Do they have a new logo? Because that's another reason I didn't change.
No, the logo is still the Jazz note. It's just white now.
Yes, no, that's not enough.
Oh yeah, I
This-
saw these. I thought these were just like alternates. I didn't know this was their official color scheme.
Well,
Mhm.
they did it last summer. Problem is they didn't fully do it until they're gonna do it this summer.
Yeah,
Mm.
it was weird. Because like Joel said, they did announce them last year, and then when the season started and they weren't these jerseys, I was like, well, clearly I saw a lie, and then just forgot about it.
That's crazy.
No, they only kept the alternate color for that they used. The other one stayed the old jerseys. This year they'll go back to new color, new logo, new jerseys. But
That
they have,
sounds
like I
like
said,
money.
they haven't released the colors yet.
That sounded like some contracts were still in place and they couldn't change it in time.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like that's so complicated for no reason.
I will update as soon as I can because I don't like this fucking
I
boring ass like yellow and black.
I thought it changed literally when the season was over. So like, obviously Sunday, I thought Monday was all right. Well, update all that shit. Like,
I haven't seen anything. Like the Magic got a new logo, new jerseys. I saw a rollout. I didn't see shit for Utah
maybe they forgot.
yet.
No,
You know, and this is why Utah is the way that they are. They can't even get their dang jerseys and color scheme right. We expect them to run a competent NBA
I mean, I do
team.
prefer the new color scheme.
I do too.
I
The
do.
old jerseys were
Yeah.
hideous.
These are fucking boring as like they're the most plain. I thought the Thunder jerseys were plain. These are plain. Like this is crazy. But I'm glad they're going back to the mountain and the colors and all that. Very very good idea for Utah.
Now they
Yeah.
should change their name.
The Jazz, well, they if they haven't changed it this far, I mean,
I
at this
know.
point-
I get upset about it every year.
Just take the J off. I think that might
The
be
Utah ass.
Utah's ass.
That's basically how they've been since the 90s.
I mean, it would sum them up. We wouldn't really
The
have to
90s.
find much.
No, but since the '90s, Mike's right.
They were
we're not glazing Carlos Boozer that much.
That's what I'm saying. Once Malone
They had,
fucked
they
it
had
up,
moments. Yeah, I
Hold
look at
on,
it
hold on. No. We're
What-
not doing that.
once
We are not
Malone
shitting on
Stockton left, it was-
AK-47, Darren
Yeah.
Williams, and
yeah, they were good.
What did they do? Nothing.
no. But they were at least more exciting to watch than whatever this shit is. I'm looking on my screen.
Oh
All
yeah,
right, that's fair.
well, this
yeah.
is a team. This team is rebuilding, obviously.
Wait,
Legit.
have you guys ever played anyone in 2K that's like, yo, don't just pick a team, pick 3 randoms? I'd have a nightmare if I
Mhm.
landed on this shit. But if I landed on the Darren Williams team, I'd at least be like, I can at least ball with a couple of these guys.
Even the Donovan Mitchell teams were good.
Yeah,
They have moments, you know.
Now, again, they didn't do shit, but again, fun to watch.
Yeah. I know what it is to suffer. Those teams didn't suffer. We fucking suffered.
All right, that's fair.
They just underperformed. They didn't suffer. This is
Yeah, that's why I'm like I take a little offense to that. I'm like, look, this team is ass. This current Jazz team, but it's on purpose that they suck. You know, they're selling all pieces. Oh, we got private chat.
all right. So what do we think? I believe they should be sellers. What is anyone else thinking about this team?
Obviously, yes.
I would say buyers, right? Like,
No, what I mean, for the right depends on obviously with all the pieces they have and the picks they have. If they can get a star, obviously yes, because then that'll change the rebuild completely. Because then now you have a foundation. You know what I mean? But right now, the closest thing they have to a foundation is Lowry Marketing, and unfortunately, that's
you're
not
saying that
really-
they should trade him and go into more into the despair.
That's you just catch a bigger fish with the fish. You
Okay,
have. That's what, you know what I mean?
I get you.
That's
Well,
how they have. I mean, that's what they're doing.
From the way you're looking at it is, Laurie's not really getting you anything by staying there. So whether he's there or not there, you'll probably be in the same boat. So why not get off the money, right? Like that's
Okay.
how you look at it at this point. Just get off the money, right?
Marketing is getting paid because that's their best player. You know that
Right.
they have to pay somebody. That's the guy that's getting paid. You know what I mean?
The hell
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
Washington
new-
Pickens in. Talk about ass.
Wait,
The
what were
new
you want to
team-
say, Mike?
I was gonna say like the CBA just makes it very hard because the teams that would want to trade for Markkanen are probably going to be contenders. They can't take on a ton of money anyway, and then they won't have the pieces probably to help the Jazz rebuild. So you're kind of just stuck and hope you hit on a couple draft picks.
I actually have a team for you, Mike. I have a team that both Laurie would fit with, and the opposing team could give them at least something to chew on while they try to figure everything out. Golden State. Golden State.
They wanted them last summer.
Golden State easily could do that, and they have pieces that they could give to Utah that we at least know are good, right? Like they're not franchise altering good, but they're at least better than most of what you have in the starting five. So I'm like, Golden State could do that. They absolutely could ship Draymond to his husband LeBron, and 3-team trade, get Laurie to Golden State, get Draymond the fuck out of there, right? Happily ever after. So there's ways you could go, but you are right. It does make it a lot harder for great teams to get greater. But there are ways for teams that are like not as great as they used to be, but they have a great player to get better. And I think Golden State could make moves to do that. I just don't know if this is the home run move you do, or if this is we couldn't get anything else. Fuck it, we'll go get Laurie Markkanen. That might be what it ends up being.
Fair
But
enough.
that is just one team I can think of that, could at least give you bang for your buck a little bit.
Apparently, the Jazz are sniffing around. Damn, what's that? Brown, Celtics.
Oh, Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, they were sniffing around
I
there.
tell you what, if I'm Brown, first thing I'm telling my agent, hey, I know I'm under contract. We're going to have to renegotiate. If you send me to Utah, we renegotiate. I need 15 years, $600 million, and I'll play. Happily.
This is the Warriors' outlook. Obviously, this is how they're looking right now.
Yeah, you could.
We're not getting them to. They don't have a first round pick, so we ain't getting them to.
Dang, no talk on the Wizards.
I'll get there. We'll do it after.
Yeah,
So
Mike.
you
If
brought up the Warriors.
Kuminga,
That's fair. They need
What was
a
that?
shooting guard.
if you're Utah, you wouldn't want Kuminga.
Well, Kuminga's a restricted free agent, so I mean, maybe you can make that work. But also, if you have, I'm looking at the Warriors starting lineup with Jimmy Butler.
Mm.
You already have a small forward. Does
Harkin could play power
Harkin?
forward.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
If
can
you
play
can-
center forward.
if you can make that work, like contractually, then yeah, of course. I just don't know again if this helps the Jazz that much.
No.
like this is a trade that can happen, but it's like
What are the Jazz getting out of it?
right. They don't get any better. They get marginally a little bit worse probably. So it's like
Kuminga?
Well, it wouldn't just be Kuminga, and again, I don't know the numbers and everything.
yeah, sure.
I'm just saying from a standpoint because you were asking like what good could you at least get back, and I'm like, there's a couple pieces on here that if you're Utah, I mean, it's not the worst thing ever. And again, you're lessening up.
Absolutely nothing.
I'm just saying, more so look to lessening up money and at least getting something back. It's
I
not-
do. I guess my thing is, did they need to lessen money? And
No.
we'll talk about the Warriors specifically in a second. But like,
No, I was gonna
they're
say,
nowhere near the threshold or any of the apron. So it's like we're dumping money just for the sake of dumping money. And it's
Oh, I
like,
was going to what Didge originally said. Didge, I thought you were saying that they were paying, that they had a big payroll.
Yeah, but then when I looked it up, I said, "Oh, never mind." I just looked it up.
Okay.
that's why it's like we don't need to do a salary dump if we're not getting any better.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
That's
Then
all.
yes, I agree there. Then yes.
On paper, I did assume that they would have been, but then when I looked it up and saw that Laurie Markkanen was their highest paid player, I was like, "Well, never mind."
Oh, okay. Then never mind. Back to square one.
So wait, I know we didn't talk about the Wizards, but I kind of don't want to talk about them because I want to talk about the Pelicans real quick because they have the next pick. And I think they're an
I just served it up, you son of a.
I think they're going to be a more interesting conversation of where do the Pelicans go from here.
All right, then let's talk real quick. about the
Pelicans?
Wizards, then we'll move
Oh,
on.
I can tell you right now. Sex Anonymous for
Oh
Zion.
my god!
It's gonna be a pool party, guys. Let's go.
The future alcohol anonymous for Joe Pool. There's gonna be a lot of eating and drinking out there in Nolan's. I can tell you that right now.
New Orleans. Well, it won't pop up.
The amount of shade room stories we'll get from both Zion and Jordan Poole will be at an all-time high.
I ain't gonna hold you. I was on the bandwagon. I was hoping Jordan Poole would come home. I think he could. I think he could have done something if he has a change in scenery. I don't know if New Orleans is that change in scenery he needs, but I do think with the change in scenery that he could get back to that.
You see, and I'm the opposite of Didge, where I'm not drinking that Kool-Aid, and I am not reunited Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma. I would rather.
Well, no, Kuzma would have had to go. Kuzma, I'm on the bend. I'm on the part of Kuzma needs to go regardless. I'm hoping we end the night with saying, "Oh man, yeah, Kuzma's going to be great in this new city."
Well, look, Didge, you can still make it work. Lillard can walk straight, right? Chip his ass to Nolan's. They'll take the star power.
No.
And have him sit on the bench for a year? Like what?
Hey man. Hey man. Oh my God, Joel. Holy shit. I'm not gonna. My eyes are horrible. I swear to God, I thought that said Bob Cousy. I say, what the fuck, Wizards?
For
do
Boone
you
Carrington?
have here?
I didn't even know who fan
Man's
was.
got glasses on and still was
Bob
blind.
Cousy. I was about to say, what is this man doing? What? Okay, I'm sorry. I will say I do love that Washington's becoming the AARP of the NBA. I do love that. Everyone's 50 and up. I do appreciate that. That's pretty cool. That's awesome. Nice veteran team.
Just taking on everybody's shit. I don't know what that trade
This
was.
team is awful, by the way.
Having
I'm just
Middleton as power forward is wild
Let me
business.
tell you, I think what they're doing is smart, right? They're holding all these vets that they know teams are going to want close to the playoffs, that they think can give them like an added boost, and then Washington can say, who wants them? We're open. Who wants them?
You get Marcus Smart. You get Malcolm Brogdon. You get Kelly Olynyk.
Exactly. So I honestly think what they're doing is smart. This team on paper looks like they'll be hot doo-doo garbage, right? But that'll make them even more enticing for teams to go, I'll be looking at CJ McCollum closer to the trade deadline. Maybe I go again.
Joel, did you put them having Middleton as power forward? Is that what they have listed?
Oh, no. That's what I put.
That's wild work.
I mean, God, look at options.
Yeah, I mean, he is 6'9", to be fair.
I get that or Koulibaly.
I just can't see it. I obviously might.
I mean, they can play George, but he's not better than that rest of us.
Hey, Didge, they're our enemy, okay? If this is what helps keep them down at the bottom, let them be.
Nah, man, you can't do cash money Middleton
I was gonna
like
say
that.
I can't
This
do
hurts
my
my
boy
soul.
Middleton like that, bro. Middleton gave us.
You shipped him there. What do you mean you can't do him like that?
And we got Kyle Kuzma back. We can't even be like, oh, we shipped him there. We're over it. It's like we sent him to hell for Kyle Kuzma.
Y'all
This is
sent
like
him to hell, then brought hell with you.
That's fair. I mean, he did pick up his option. He could have left, technically.
He wanted that.
He wanted that guaranteed money.
Right, he know he at the twilight of his career. He like, bro, forget it.
The Pelicans.
Bells.
I forgot they had DeJounte Murray.
Yeah, this is an interesting team if Zion can play. I really think this could be fun if he could
They
play.
just drafted Jeremiah Fears. That kid might have something there. That kid.
Joel, can you make it to where the Pelicans is the only thing?
What do you mean?
Zoom
like-
in hand.
Yeah.
Put it
I
back in
could.
slideshow mode.
Oh yeah, I could. My problem before it just was not accepting anything that was like that.
Oh,
So
okay.
I just did it on the. I'll try it again.
I won't make it harder than it needs to be. If that's how it needs to be, then that's fine.
You
I
can-
was trying. That's why it took me so long earlier. I was like, it would not take.
I get you.
How's it going?
But they keep coming in and out of sharing, and it just.
Oh yeah, I was fine with it like
Just do it
that.
how you did it. Just do it how you did it. It's no problem. They're interesting. They're really interesting because
There it is.
I kind of look at them how I look at Philly, to where
Mhm.
it's like you're only as good as your best player, right? So it's like if Zion can't be there, how talented do we believe DeJounte, Poole, and Trey can really be for this team to get them in any kind of conversation of competing for a playoff spot?
Well, you see, John, this they can still be a fun team, but unfortunately, they play in the West.
Yeah, that's really the issue.
If they played in the East, 6 seed, 5 seed maybe on the
That's
table.
mad disrespectful to the East that we play in. That's crazy.
Half the East just tore their ACLs and their Achilles.
Yeah, but I don't think the Celtics are gonna fall off the map. I think the Pacers will take a step back, but I don't think they'll be like out of the running. I
didn't say out the
Miami
running. I just said that this team would go
something
to
out.
like a 5 seed.
Yeah, I was
The
gonna say the
Pelicans
issue.
on paper always look better than how they are for some reason.
That's also fair.
Yeah, I was gonna say the issue with all the injuries on the East isn't that necessarily that those teams are going to fall off the map. It's that so much of 7 through like 12 were so close that picking up a game that you probably were sure gonna lose against the Pacers or the Celtics is beneficial now. So that's where I think the injuries sort of open up the East a little bit more. But on the Pelicans specifically, it's so interesting. Like you said, on paper, this team looks like it should be decent. And I know not a crazy amount changed from last year, and they won 21 games. So it's just like what
Injuries
went wrong?
Fucked it up. I mean, that a lot of it was injuries. Like Murray got hurt, Zion got hurt for a while. Ingram got hurt for a while.
Yeah.
Trey eventually got hurt, even though he was carrying for a long time. It was bad.
Fair.
It was bad. It is what it is. Pelicans, if they could get their shit together, could be good. But unfortunately, they seem like there might be more than just talent. That's the issue.
I don't
Feels like
think
we've been saying that ever since they changed their name to the Pelicans. If they get their shit together.
Yeah.
because
On
they
paper.
just can't seem to get their shit together.
They got-
No, that's the
they
problem.
just drafted
The fix is
oh.
you just need Zion healthy.
Put it in
Yeah.
a bag, get it all together.
Y'all favorite team about to make their pick.
Hey, I'm curious who they pick.
Who's our favorite team?
You know who your favorite team is, Juwan.
I know who my actual favorite team is. I don't know.
Didge, I'm not watching this. You got to just say it, please.
It's Brooklyn.
Okay. Thank
Oh. Gotcha. Yeah. Well, where are they gonna go? New Jersey? No.
I don't know. They haven't said yet. They're talking to Perkins right now.
you. Oh, God. I'm glad I'm not listening.
He's saying something about food. You know his analogy. No, that's not the way to look at the Knicks. You got to the Eastern Conference Finals. It's really hard to poo-poo on any decision that they made, personnel-wise. They just went to the Eastern Conference Finals, so it's like,
I don't know if the front office agree with you.
well, no, someone had to go.
Okay.
The head coach. So that was 100% the head coach. He for sure needed to go. I'm not saying I regret getting Mikal Bridges, because I recall, if no one else does, those 2 games in Boston being clinched by Mikal Bridges. So I'm like, yeah, sure, could Dante DiVincenzo have done that? Maybe. I don't think so, though. So for me, I don't regret getting Mikal Bridges. My regret will come if we end up trading Mikal Bridges.
Well,
and we get
DiVincenzo
back-
wasn't traded for Mikal Bridges.
No. I'm saying if we didn't go all out
Oh, okay.
for Mikal Bridges, maybe we find a way to hold on to a piece like Dante DiVincenzo, or maybe wait on that Cat trade.
Okay, I get you now.
Because like you go all in for Cat because you're going all in for Mikal Bridges, right?
Yeah.
I think if you don't have a chance of getting Mikal Bridges, maybe you just run it back.
The Nets have a ton of picks. They just
Yes,
picked a
they
Russian
fucking
dude.
They also have a ton of free agents. My goodness.
Those are the Knicks, the Knicks, the Knicks, the Knicks, the Knicks, the Knicks, the Knicks.
No, that's all this year, my guy.
No, I'm just joking. I'm saying, but a lot of our picks went to Brooklyn.
Yeah, the next couple of years they did, but
Yeah.
like this is all the same fucking draft. They have 1/6 of the goddamn draft.
Yeah, that's insane. They just picked a Russian guy.
It's a shame because they could have used all those picks to get a superstar like Kevin Durant.
The guy that already had?
Run it back.
You don't spin the block.
Oh, that would have been
It's
crazy.
the worst that can happen, you know?
That would have been wild. I
Could
mean,
you picture selling that to your fan base? Hey guys, remember it didn't work last time? Yeah.
we
Bring
gonna
it
Kyrie's gone, you know, we got rid of James Harden, so maybe we can make this work with D'Lo.
Hysterical.
crazy.
That
You
would
are
have been
the
very
Demon?
frustrating for that franchise.
Demon.
I'm going to be honest with you, Joel. When you bring this up, man, look, this is another team I was wrong on. I'm going to say this. I would never give another basketball take if it was not for how correct I was about Detroit, because I was also wrong. Very wrong about Brooklyn. I don't know what I saw in Cam Thomas, but
He's good. He just got hurt. He did.
Yeah.
before he got hurt, that team was not winning any. Was not going to be winning.
No, he can't carry that team by himself.
I thought him and Claxton could. That's my point. I was so wrong. I was
Claxton
very
had a
wrong.
really bad year, to be fair.
Look, that man has not played well since he said, look, since I've been here, I ain't never lost to the Knicks. Not only has he lost every single game since that moment was said, that man has not looked the same, honestly. I don't know what's going on with him. But
I mean, at least this for sure this season, he took a step back. I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know what happened. Obviously, the team was ass, but it is what it is. You know, they're rebuilding. Look at their free. Half the team is gone. You know?
I tell you this though, if this is a team I would like to see get aggressive. If a team like the Grizzlies were really shopping either one of their guys, either one. Obviously, if you want to say, of course, they're not trading John Morant. Okay, Triple J.
I don't think they're trading him.
I think if you're Memphis, I'm curious how they go, right? Because it's like, it seems injury is your problem. And that's just something that you either have to sell your soul to fix like Curry did, or you just got to get better conditioning for your guys. So I'm like, I don't know how to fix that problem because they have all the talent in the world. Their two best players can't stay healthy.
Right.
So I'm like, what do? You know what it is, Ditch? That's why I couldn't be a GM. Once I start feeling like I don't know what to do, I will very much trade you. I'm not even thinking twice. I don't know what else to do, dog. We got all the
They
talent.
gonna fire.
Healthy.
They gonna fire you.
Gotta go. Hey, they ain't fired Nico.
That's because they got the first pick. That's why.
It was an inside job.
You said what, Mike?
It was an inside job.
Oh, well, yes.
They couldn't fire him for doing what they wanted. It was an inside job.
That's also true. They said the new owners want to move them to Vegas. That's
What?
Nah, you know that was an Adam Silver move. Like, hey, LeBron's about to retire. Lakers can't have nothing. We can't go through that again. Please, I need y'all to give us something, dog. Help us out. But no,
Austin
looking
Reeves
at
can't be
this
the best
roster-
player on the Lakers, y'all. We gotta do something here.
Hey, man,
Wow.
I'm trying to get
Dang.
to New York. Watch out. with
Are
all
you
that.
really?
Yeah, heck yeah. Watch out with all that talk. No, looking at this roster, Joel, I don't know. I have no idea. To me, you can't tell shit because all of it's about to walk out the door. So I don't really know. I don't know. Go find the G League stars and maybe
In
start.
my opinion, you keep Cam Thomas and restock. That's it. You can't trade Cam Johnson and Nick Claxton for more pieces. You know?
I agree.
Up on my pipe dream of the Knicks getting an action. See, this is what sometimes makes me side against Knicks fans.
What did you just say?
What do you want? Is Jalen Brunson not a superstar? Did you not just trade Julius Randle for Karl Anthony Towns? Like, what do you mean? Like, I don't understand. What do you mean?
This is what I meant earlier, though, when I talked about how we talk about these teams, where it's like the Knicks are a big market team, funny enough, and they get treated like a small market team, where it's like they have a team that just went to the Eastern Conference Finals,
Right.
and Brunson balled, and the narrative is still, well, if they got a number one guy, they could have won it all. It's like, he is the number one guy. What are we doing, guys? It didn't work. It just didn't work out that time. It happens.
Got beat.
Yeah.
I mean,
They made the move. Whoa. Let's leave that. Let's leave that alone. First off, but no, they made the move they needed to make. They're still that the Eastern Conference Finals with Tibbs as their coach was their ceiling. That was it.
Yeah.
Like they did exactly what they needed to do in getting rid of him.
See,
Yeah.
the problem with a lot of Nick fans is that
Not you specifically, Robert. Just making that clear.
I don't know. That Giannis take got me hot. I don't know.
I think they sometimes get short-sighted, right? It's like you just went to the Eastern Conference Finals, right? And it's like to look at that as anything other than how can we fix the little bit of mistakes that we made so that we can get over that said hump next year is just crazy because it's like, okay, let's say you get Giannis. Do you think there's any way in the world Milwaukee does not ask for half your goddamn roster to do that?
Yeah, I want Brunson. You give it. I want Brunson. I want Cat. Like I want.
I mean,
well,
your entire
realistically,
core. No, this is realistically. I want your
OG
entire core.
Anunoby, Cat, right? Like they're gonna want a lot of your new. There's like sometimes Nick fans speak like Sometimes Nick fans speak like we can do Deuce and Mitch straight up for Giannis. Like no. So it's like okay, you lose half your team. Now you have Giannis and Brunson. You are essentially starting from ground again. Like you're starting from the beginning again, right? Because the problem this year a lot was there was no chemistry. You threw everything together right before the season started, right? And it's like, well, and then last year ended where as you were starting to get chemistry, everyone got injured. So it's like chemistry seems to be our problem. Let's just stick with a roster. Maybe
I will say though, I think the reason that Knicks fans do that is because they see LA does it. The Lakers fans are the only fans I understand when they say we'll get your best player because for some reason they do. And I think the Knicks fans are like, look, but I think Knicks fans are like looking at that and they're like, we're a bigger city than LA. We should be able to do that too.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I don't know why.
Luka was served on a silver platter for LA. Like I get it. You're just totally right there. Where it's like nobody even thought that was possible. Next thing you know, it's just like Luka's on the Lakers now.
Yeah, but I'm saying look at what our height is, right? Our height is spending an average day, and we just trade Randall for Cat. That's our height. It's never we just traded Randall for LeBron James in his prime. Like no, that stuff doesn't happen to us. So to continuously beat your head against a wall, something that clearly doesn't happen to your franchise, just let it go.
No,
let it go. Except the fact that you just went to the Eastern Conference Finals, and you do have, some may argue, the best point guard in the East, right? And you could argue he's on his way to becoming a superstar.
You're locked into that. Should take,
But
you know,
that's
be
what I'm saying.
grateful.
It's
You
like-
gotta be grateful.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Because we can go back to the Raymond Felton days, Tony Douglas days. We can go
Felton.
backwards.
That wasn't a bad.
Man, Lynn's sanity was a moment.
Yeah, a moment.
Couple weeks.
A moment.
Literally a moment.
Disappeared.
But
So
you brought up the graphic, Joel. What can you guys do? Because you're obviously way more in tune with this team. What can you guys do to get over the hump? Because you almost got to the finals. Like,
What did
what
y'all do?
else can you do?
Why y'all lose y'all 60th pick? What y'all do?
Well, apparently we were tampering when we got Brunson, so we lost our 60th.
That sounds facts.
I'll never understand why that's a bad thing. Like, of course we went and hired his dad. You can't get any more tampering than that, dog. Like, of course. Like, come on.
So they took our pick.
Well, see, here's the problem about just saying defense. The problem is we have two of the best. If you want to say there's 10 great wing defenders, we have two of them. Problem is that we weren't putting them in schemes that worked, right? We were doing just ridiculous things with those two. They had better moments, but not a full season of it. The first thing we need to do, Mike, to answer your question, can you just do me a favor, Mike? Can you look where it says reserves?
Yeah.
That's where we start. We start right there.
Not too much on Tyler Kolek.
No, here's my problem. We don't know. We never played Tyler Kolek. So it's like we have no idea what half this bench can do. We never played him. We have no idea.
I didn't know y'all had Marjon. Like, I thought he was rotting away in on the Clippers still.
No.
So it's like we either play these guys so we can see what talent they have, or we just figure out a way to move some pieces around. Excuse me, and get better on our bench. That's
as you can see, we are just below the first 8 points. So we don't have a lot of wiggle room. Like, what we need to do is make some room and tinker as best as we can, unless we plan on giving up one of our big six.
Well, you got to figure some of these. Well, no, I don't know how many of these are walking.
Landry Shamet is probably the only name I can tell you that's probably not walking. Whoever the new head coach is, I don't think that head coach is going to usurp Leon. And I think Leon will keep Landry Shamet. I think he'll get a cheap 2-year deal. Everyone else is up for grabs, but I can almost 100% guarantee Landry Shamet is definitely a name that will stay. He proved to play very well in moments, but again, he didn't get a chance to play all that.
I'm not against bringing back Landry and Delvin, honestly, but it just comes down to will they play. I don't know the coaches.
Right. That's what's holding us up. Yeah.
What's the latest name that's floated around?
Coach wise?
Yes.
Yeah, Borrego and what's his name?
Homeboy from the Timberwolves, the assistant from the Timberwolves.
I am so shocked that
Mike
Malone was not the next day.
You said that Mike Malone wasn't
because they feel like he's too similar to Tibbs.
Oh,
that's what
okay.
It seems like.
I mean,
they want someone a little more flexible, as they say.
His ceiling wasn't the Western Conference Finals. I will say that. So he already had the leg up on Tibbs.
I think he also has the best.
You see, dude, say that, but also Doc Rivers has won a championship.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Doc Rivers won a championship though with
the first big three.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was
the new era. That
was
and he has Giannis. That's where it's like, okay, we still want to get
it's just Giannis.
I will say this, Ditch. I will say this. Knick fans should look at this coaching search kind of the way that the Warriors looked at theirs, to where Mark Jackson did all he could, right? Even though you could argue that Mark Jackson could have done exactly what Steve Kerr did had you gave him the opportunity. Mark Jackson got them to a point, right? You needed someone that could unlock and elevate to get to the next step. So whoever this next head coach is has to be able to elevate, right? You can't do the same thing. You got to elevate. You got to get us a step further than where we just were. So
I don't know if Mike Malone elevates.
But
I don't know if Mike Brown elevates. I don't know who elevates. Like the Knicks were trying to go get Jason Kidd. I don't know that elevates you. I don't know. It has to be something that, like, it seems like Steve Kerr found a way, and again, you could argue Mark Jackson did, but Steve Kerr found a way to unlock the next level. Unless
Jason Kidd signs a new extension with Dallas, it does seem like that might be inevitably where they land. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So wait, you're saying Mavericks would trade him to us?
Basically,
no, he just let his contract run. Maybe. No trade.
No, it would have to be a trade.
Joel's saying he would come now.
Yeah, it would have to be now.
I thought they already rejected. Like
no, they rejected him talking to them. But what happened when they wanted to talk to what's his name, Ime? Extension. They want to talk to Billy Donovan. Extension. Like
right.
Now, Jason,
a lot of people
extension, they're like, hey, oh shit,
hardball.
We have a trade.
What?
Charlotte Hornets are trading center Mark Williams to the Phoenix Suns for the number 29 pick tonight and the 2029 first round pick. Wow, so future first.
This is what I hate about the draft. Why couldn't I have been a bigger name? I was looking for something flashy.
That's a big name for Phoenix. That's a big name.
Yeah, I was gonna say Phoenix.
Mark Williams is a good center.
Oh, I don't disagree. I mean, they've been looking for a center since Ayton left, so I mean, it sounds about right.
I mean, it's funny now they have both Charlotte's past centers. They have
they're taking anything they can get out there. They
took the backup center last year. Now they got a starter.
Right. The Rockets pick is in. Well, technically the Suns pick is in.
I was about to say. Didn't they let that go?
Yeah, that pick is definitely on its way to Phoenix.
Damn, so the 20.
Oh wait, do we want to talk about that trade?
Which one?
The Rockets, since they're on the clock.
Yeah, we can talk about the Rockets. Yeah. I gotta get there though.
Yeah, no problem. Take your time.
Not sports related, but there was that Superman screening today, and people are breaking their embargoes. So you may want to mute that stuff.
I'm gonna do that while we talking.
Yeah.
What? I don't
Oh, the third
Why
Duke
risk
player.
breaking embargo? Why
I'm
Wait a
already
minute.
agitated.
You said that they traded for a center. They
Yeah.
just drafted a center.
Yeah,
No,
that's
no.
their way of saying, "Hey,
Oh, yeah.
we really needed centers."
Well, you want we're talking Rockets or we're talking Suns?
Well, I figured like you can't talk one without the other because we're gonna talk about
That's
this trade.
I got. Let me
So-
see. There you go. I'm like, which way? There it is. So this is see they have Nick Richards. That's their current center, and he's was a Charlotte backup last year. I mean, before he became Phoenix Sun. Now they got Mark Williams, the starting center of the Hornets. Bam, and then they just drafted another center. Bam.
Yeah, Common.
But they have no bigs, literally. Like, look at their ball. They have no bench. So I don't know. They have 3 centers now. God bless them. I don't know.
This has got to be the dumbest roster I've seen in a minute.
Thank you,
and
Mike.
they're
Thank you,
still
Mike.
over the second apron. Oh, it's sad.
Bro, Bradley Beal's making way too much goddamn money.
I don't know. See, I don't know what. I don't know if it's no way it's any cheaper. They got more expensive with Mark Williams. Not that he's making a lot of money, but they just added it. Let me see. 'Cause they didn't. They had to be in. Give me a second. It's just for a pick. So how's that even work?
That's what I don't understand.
There's no way that's.
You're about to hear the breaking news.
Somebody else is getting traded.
There has to be
Mikael Bridges for Devin Booker. You're about to hear that.
I'm not sure.
That would be insane.
We got to get Book out of there. 1, why is he playing point guard? 2, he does not deserve this.
It's annoying.
Well, let me answer the first question, Mike. Look at the name right underneath his. That's why Devin Booker has to play point guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And look at the bench.
Right. You know what? I will say, guys. You know what team? You know what player this team should be looking for? Because I think it could at least help them a little bit. Maybe not a lot, but just a little bit, especially with the veteran IQ. This is a team that should be looking at someone like Chris Paul.
The Suns.
100%.
bring him
Chris
back.
Paul.
Run it back again. You know, I already made this joke already.
Yeah, what's up with you wanting teams to get that old thing back?
No, here's the difference, though.
Party like
If
a
Brooklyn went to go get
2021,
Durant,
man.
you now are thinking about what you're surrounding Durant with. I'm just saying this team is of desperate need of a legit, and I know Tyus Jones tries his best, but of a legit point guard. Like a legit point guard.
No, I don't think Chris Paul wants. I doubt he has no trade clause, but I know he was already on record talking about how much he's missed stuff with his family because he's consistently getting traded and stuff and being in the league still.
Guess what, dog? Retire then. All right?
He might.
Traded again, dog.
They might tell him, yo, you getting shit back to Phoenix. He's like, you know what? No, I'm not. Like I'm
Or if it is Phoenix, though, he's like, hey, I still got a house down there, man.
that is also fair. That is
Chris Paul is a free agent. So
Oh, there you go.
is he?
There you go. He doesn't have to worry about the trade.
He only signed a year deal with San Antonio.
there it is. He's a free agent.
Interesting.
Good for him. Is that why everybody was saying Chris Paul to the Bucks? We need a point guard, y'all. It's bad. out
Hold
here.
up now. Forget him going to
I mean,
Phoenix.
there's
I
double
will.
teams that are gonna need
I
a
will
point
take-
guard.
I know he's not coming
The
for.
Bucks,
huge
the
money.
Mavericks, the Pacers, all you know.
There's no way
right?
Chris Paul is coming for crazy amount of money.
Chris Paul and Giannis would be kind of crazy.
Chris Paul, I can use a. We
He
can use a
didn't
backup
do a
point
lot
guard.
with Chris Paul and Wembyama. So.
When we got hurt, remember they were balling. We got hurt.
I'm
No,
just saying the lobs would be ridiculous.
Let me Chris Paul out. Got him off the bench now, man.
But wait, hold on, time out. Joel, please help me. Am I missing something? Did they just omit Damian Lillard or
He's hurt. He tore his Achilles. Man's not
he
coming
tore
back.
his Achilles?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like a groin thing. I didn't know.
No, this man tore his Achilles. He's not coming back till like April.
They said he's 10 months away. It is June. He's missing that entire season. Like he comes back at Eastern Conference Finals at best.
Yeah. Oh damn, Joel, that's mad fucked up. Why you put the medical sign next to Damian Lillard?
I put it next to everybody.
He's done that for everybody who's been hurt.
that
But
I
we're
get hurt.
just acknowledging it.
Just looking at it is
Everybody
crazy.
that's hurt, that's gonna be hurt to start the season. That's
Put
what.
the Gatorade icon next to Kyle Kuzma so that way we can get
No, don't do that, dude. You might confuse people for the special stuff that they had in Space Jam.
There's another trade, but it's a rookie for rookie trade. Blazers.
They ain't announced nothing on mine.
So,
While you're looking at that, Joel, can we please pass this to Didge and Mike and have them explain where the hell
Coward.
he can go?
His name is Cedric Coward.
I don't know. I'm at a loss. Kyle Kuzma, where we should go first and foremost. Kyle Kuzma should be off of my team by the end of the night. Let's get him out of here. I don't know because we don't have a lot of cap space. Actually, I don't know how much did the cap jump this year. I gotta imagine we're still over.
That's it right there. The tax.
Well, you also got
the current numbers.
Okay.
Yeah, you also got to look at is that current number including these free agents? Because if they walk, then it's going to go down.
True.
It doesn't include anything except Bobby's for now.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't picked it up, but it's still on there until he does.
Okay.
It's only Bobby's numbers. Everyone else is not on the list.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can bring back Kevin Porter Jr. and Gary Trent. I would like for them to return. Brooke, I'm sorry. I think he already said that he's not coming back. In which it sucks, but I'm not too hurt for. We need to figure out first off what are we going to do in the interim while Dame is gone. But then also we do need. I think we do still need offense. Like too many points last year, our offense just sort of was non-existent, and that was the issue, especially when teams were moving fast against us. Like when the pace picked up, it was kind of rough at times. Because we're also an old-ass team.
Yeah. They need to get younger. They need to get a wing. Because the guys that you want to bring back, Gary Trent, right, Kevin Porter Jr., AJ Green, they all play point guard or two guard. Or they're all really combo guards, if we're being completely honest. Yeah, so it's like you need a small forward because Kuzma, unless he drastically improves, which nobody expects him to.
No.
Kuzma's not going to give you anything. You don't have a center if Brook Lopez walks. Giannis is adamant about never wanting to play center.
Oh.
So does that mean Sims elevates into the starting lineup, or does Bobby Portis become the center of this team? And it's like,
hey, Mike, because I love you and Didge like brothers, don't put Jericho Sims as your starting.
He actually didn't play bad when he was here, I will say. Maybe playing with Giannis helped.
Yeah, okay.
But
all right.
It was a small sample size, so
it wasn't a lot.
We'll take the warning. But yeah, it's like there's not really many places this team can go. They're very much, we were talking about the Sixers earlier. The Bucks are very much in like a retool year where it's like if Giannis stays and he doesn't ask out, he has to know it's like there's nothing that we can really do this year. This is all dependent on the next season, whether that is because Dame comes back, or now we're at least able to move Dame and get more pieces back for him. There's just not a lot that the Bucks can do. I will say, because the East is so like riddled with injuries, having Giannis Antetokounmpo on your team still makes you a playoff team. Like I still think we'll be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Which if all these other injuries didn't happen, it's like, oh yeah, we might slip into the lottery. We don't know.
Well, if what I'm hearing is true, guys, and Drew Holiday was really upset about being traded, I mean, I don't know how the money works, but that'd be a name I'd like to see you guys reunited with to cover for Dame.
I like how the theme of the night is just, remember when this player was on your team? Let's run it back.
Listen, Didge, if we can recreate the 2021 season,
I was just about to say, Mike.
I'm down.
We got something cooking here.
I'm down.
And look at it this way too, Didge. He'd be playing with a chip on his shoulder, feeling like maybe he wasn't the guy that should have been shipped out. He could be playing with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. That'd be somebody, just because you were saying, for someone to fill in, I don't really know who else is out there available for you guys to utilize. But Joel would know a lot better than me with like free agents and guys you can maybe get for the cheap and stuff like that. Like, what about Lonzo Ball? Lonzo Ball?
He would have to trade for Lonzo Ball.
No, but I'm saying even if you do trade for Lonzo Ball, At this point, do we think Chicago cares if they bring in Damian Lillard? I don't think they care, right?
Oh, you want to trade Dame?
Obviously not now because he's injured for the whole season, like Mike said. But in a perfect world, yeah, you trade Dame. You trade Dame.
Eventually, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was rumors that they wanted to trade Dame last season, but
Right.
that's injury. Now you can't. And so you basically just have to tell Giannis, hey, we're in a retool year. It's going to be a gap year for us, man. we're gonna move some of this money,
try and move Dame the season after or whatever, and then just like go full rebuild from there. This is why the Giannis trade talks are so like prominent, because there is no way to pitch this without just saying this year is a wash.
So let me ask you this. And I'm asking this as an actual friend, not asking this to be funny at all. But in a perfect world, right? When you guys are thinking about what your options could be to move forward, right? Would you guys entertain taking on OG and Cat in a draft pick or two for Giannis?
It has to be more than 2.
Yeah,
you guys gave up like 4 or 5 for Mikal Bridges. That's the thing. It's
that's the problem. And then think about how many.
But we only gave up Bojan.
Hold on. Hold on. Joel, do you see what's happening here? Do you see why even in friendship you can't do business? They were just down in the dumps of, hey, we just gotta do what we gotta do. I'm giving you Cat and OG.
And we're giving you Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Let me tell you, Desmond Bain just got traded for 4 picks. Desmond Bain just got traded for 4 picks. I'm sorry.
For fucking Cole Anthony.
Well, they were desperate.
I'm giving you an all-star.
All right? We're not necessarily desperate, but we are, okay? So don't try, okay?
You asked the question. We're answering honestly. Like, Giannis Antetokounmpo was the best player in this team's history.
That's fine, but like you also have to remember, Cat ain't no scrub. OG ain't no scrub. It's not like we're giving you garbage. We'll give you picks, but like 5 is ridiculous if we're gonna give you them 2 guys too.
No, I said 3 is the minimum.
Oh, okay. 3 is fine. 3 I can do.
How about 2 in a swap? In a swap? Come on.
We have nothing to swap.
We don't have any to swap.
Wait. Joel. Let's entice it a little bit more. Didge, this is our final offer. You ready? 2 picks.
This is about to be some bullshit.
No. It's not. 2 picks. Deuce McBride, OG, and Cat. You got a point guard. You got OG. You got Cat. You got your 2 picks. Shut up,
because I'm a friend of y'all. I ain't gonna shit on Deuce McBride as my first instance was about to be. I would just respectfully decline.
I get that you guys may think we're asking too much, but this is the best player in the NBA.
What?
He is. Giannis is the best player in basketball.
Over Jokic?
Jokic just won like 18 MVPs over the course
I don't give a fuck about Jokic. I'm sorry.
What?
I would also agree.
We'll go trade for Jokic.
Oh, well, that's bias. Well, that's a bunch of biased BS.
Giannis is way better defensively than Jokic.
3, I'll give you top 3. Number 1.
Another trade.
What was the other trade?
More draft trades. It's Atlanta Hawks are trading the number 13 pick of the draft to New Orleans for the 23 and number 10 2026 first round pick.
If you're the Hawks, you wouldn't want a player?
A pick of the draft.
You're the Hawks.
They're moving back, and they're getting another pick in the future.
And I don't know.
What's wrong with Mike, bro? What's wrong with this guy?
No, I mean the Hawks. They not like looking at like, oh, this year's our year.
Why wouldn't you? That's a legit team that they're assembling over there. If you can keep Trae Young,
how legit we talking?
Didge. That is if Kristaps can stay
not
healthy,
embarrassing.
Very elite defensive team. Obviously,
but think about what that statement was, and then think about the player that you named when you said that. If they could stay
Kristaps
healthy,
and Trae Young. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. But again, that's a maybe for Philly, maybe for you guys staying healthy, maybe for us staying. We have an injury guys, so it's like I get where you're coming from, but I'm saying that team could go from what were they, the 8th seed?
I think they were 10th.
Yeah.
Are we saying that lineup can get 7th or 8th?
Which is still not a guarantee to be in the playoffs.
If healthy, that team
going from 10 to 8 is not great.
One of the Hawks, look at the Hawks. Let's see.
They were 9, by the way.
Oh, they were 9. I think they could be 6, 7, or 8. I think they can be 6-7.
I don't think. Well, of the six, the top
Look
six
at
in
that.
the East.
That is a great defensive lineup right there. Again,
I don't-
straight up.
I'm still worried about Kristaps Porzingis, if we're being completely honest.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what he gives you at all.
What
So
shooting? Everything that Clint Capella
if he
gave.
can play, though, that's the
Capella's a free
thing.
agent, so they're not going to worry about it. They got Kongu. Oh, Kongu took a spot last year anyway.
Well, let me ask you this. If you're the Hawks, right? If you don't think Kristaps can give you much, what do you think they traded away that was that much better than what Kristaps could be if healthy?
But that's kind of my point of I don't think it's that much. It is just kind of a wash, and they're probably going to be in a similar boat they were already.
I don't know if it's a wash, man. Again, I think guys can find ways to figure out what's going wrong health-wise, figure out ways, just better condition themselves, just to excuse me.
If he can get back to where he was, I don't disagree with you. I just
Yeah.
have a hard time believing that he can. That's really
I mean,
it.
it's
Because if
not
the
even-
Celtics couldn't figure it out, I'm worried.
Well, think about this
freshman.
also. The
No,
Celtics
I
didn't
think-
really need him all that much until they did, but by that point, it was just too late. The whole team was crumbling at that point. The whole team was crumbling. That's all I'm saying. But I think this team can. You said they were ninth.
Yeah, I think that's probably their ceiling.
I
is
feel
Well,
comfortable
still?
putting them in between 6 and 8. I feel
If
comfortable.
healthy, Hawks would have been better. Jalen Johnson got hurt, to be fair. I think the Hawks would have been better if they were fully healthy.
That's what I'm saying, Joel. Is that if this starting
And then
five is fully healthy,
If Porzingis actually, again, it's what if is a crazy thing because Porzingis looked fine until like the playoffs.
Yeah.
Got sick. I'm like, I don't know what happened, but that's a nice squad. Like you said, at least the starters, but they might need to.
But
they need to
Let's
retool.
look at so record wise, they were 8. They obviously ended up losing. That's why in the finals they ended up being 9. But Orlando's probably still going to be better than them. Detroit's probably still going to be better than them.
Yep.
Milwaukee, Indiana, even with the loss of Halliburton for most of the year, you don't see them still being top 6.
Well,
Pacers.
time out. Hold on. Remember, that was my argument. I said Hawks between 6 and 8. So if you're telling me Hawks are 7,
Well, I
yeah,
said 8
fine.
is their ceiling. I said 8 is their ceiling.
Oh,
So
okay, then we're
so-
not far from each other. I'm saying
No,
if you
but
have Indiana at 6, I'm saying
Yeah.
they're between 7 and 8.
Both of you guys are in the same range, and I'm just sitting here like, I don't know if going from 9 to 7 is that big a leap in the
Well, that's-
first place.
that's sort of my point. Is like they're not. It's all stemmed from like, why didn't they go for players? And I'm like, well, they're not in a win now sense. Like, if you're 6 to 8, you're not in a win now thing. You're in a man. We are a solid team. If some breaks go our way, we can win now.
No, I mean,
fuck.
no, I disagree with that because if my point is I'm saying go after a player, I'm saying you might be 1 or 2 of those guys away from putting yourself in a better position. That's why, like, think about it. You don't think too highly of Kristaps, right? Everyone else you think is legit, right? Can we agree there? Everyone minus Kristaps is legit in that starting 5?
Yeah, I guess. Dyson
saying,
Daniels, I'm not
if
super
not-
high on.
If not,
But-
no problem. I'm just
No,
saying.
but Dyson Daniels, I'm not super high on, but the rest are. So yeah,
That was good.
Okay,
He's-
so let's take out
serviceable.
Dyson. Let's take out Dyson and Kristaps.
He's
right?
a very good defender.
yeah.
I'm
That's fair.
saying
That's fair.
if
He
you're
is.
trading, who did they trade with, Joel? Their draft just now.
Just now,
Yeah.
The Pelicans.
Well, yeah,
Pelicans. All I'm saying is you
But they
could've
used to have the 13th pick. Now they have
could've
the
maybe found a player or two to help
On the
boost
Pelicans,
your
though?
bench.
They done ruined my damn fucking
I don't
slide.
I don't know if I don't know if the Pelicans. Not that they don't have players that could have been a huge asset to the Hawks. I don't know if any of those players were on the chopping block for the Pelicans.
No. I'm just saying if I'm trading you my draft pick, and it's still a significantly high draft pick, I'd like a player or two with that. Like,
Yeah, but you're getting what did they get the 24th? What was it?
26, I think it was.
26
they
and a
got
future.
13th, right?
And a future first. 2026
Oh,
first.
That's what I'm saying. 2 picks for 1 though.
Oh, they got the 23rd pick. 23rd pick and an unprotected 2026.
So really, in all things considered, they moved back a spot because they had the 22nd originally,
Yeah.
and in the Kristaps trade, they got up and then I guess dropped back down.
Right.
That's fair.
I'm just
So
saying.
they got right back to where they were,
Right.
basically,
I'm just saying.
and got a first pick back.
I think I'm gonna approach Atlanta the way that me and you had a conversation about Detroit last year. I think they're gonna surprise, especially with the fact that I don't think Indiana's gonna be consistent. Because remember, it's one thing to lose your best player. It's another thing that if your best player is your point guard. So I do think it's gonna be a struggle for Indiana. Again, barring whoever they get to replace him in that starting lineup. If it's McConnell, yeah, I'm betting on the Hawks. I'm definitely betting.
That's fair.
I'm betting on. I'm betting on.
No, I can. That's fair.
I just love that defensive lineup. Again, barring Kristaps, being injured.
I think it's I don't have high hopes for Kristaps.
That's fair. That's fair. I can't argue.
I don't know if I agree that Halliburton is their best player. By the way,
what
I do think Pascal Siakam is their best player.
Nasty. I won't even.
Like,
You think Siakam is their best player?
yeah, I think that there was a reason why he was their Eastern Conference Finals MVP. He is their best player.
He's
No,
definitely their best.
Okay,
scorer.
you know what? Let me alter what I'm saying. If you want to say there's an argument between who the best player is, no problem. The guy that keeps the engine running is 1,000% Halliburton. If you go a full season with Siakam and no Halliburton, I don't know if you get to where you are. Especially if we're talking possibly a full season of just Siakam and no Halliburton. I don't know.
Are we talking Indiana?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, you needed both. One without the
for
other.
sure.
They're not. They're not doing anything. I will say, Siakam is their best player. And I think it's evident in the playoffs because there are games where Halliburton just kind of no-showed and Siakam just kept doing what he always does, and he helped
was
carry
so consistently annoying as well. That guy was fucking
Yeah, and it's like Halliburton. I hate to use the terminology because I really don't believe in it, but like he does have like that clutch gene in him, where it's like when they needed a moment from him, he showed up. He definitely did. There were also games where he had like 10 points and like
He
5
does that
assists, and he
too.
didn't really do anything.
Yeah, he disappears. That's why they got TJ McConnell for that.
I was gonna say, I forgot which game it was when I came into Discord. Like, bro, he
Every
had
game.
4 points that game,
Yeah.
and and Siakam was the one that kept them in that game.
I do believe if you look through this playoff history with the Pacers, I do believe you could say the same for both. I think there were games where Siakam didn't show up, where Halliburton did. Like, I know as a Knicks fan, there was one game Siakam won single-handedly. It was the craziest shit I've ever seen. I did not understand how you had 2 elite wing defenders and no one could stop Siakam. He had 40. Man had 40 alone. No Halliburton doing anything. Alone. It was the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life.
The Raptors.
Okay, so again, we're splitting hairs.
That's
if
fair.
you're saying you can't do one without the other, in my opinion, I think that's more so leaning on, I think they both need each other to be successful. But I don't know if I could say Siakam is more talented than Halliburton.
Yeah, I mean, it really just comes down to consistency. If we're saying who's the best
Talented?
player on this team, Siakam probably doesn't have the raw talent of Halliburton, but he shows up pretty much night in and night out. Whereas Halliburton, higher ceiling, but in a 20-game stretch, he might no-show 5 of those. That's
Well,
really
wait, hold on. Also, let me ask you guys this, and then I'm sorry, I'll
I didn't know you was this big of a Halliburton fan, man.
I'm not. There's no one I hate more in the NBA.
No, I'm gonna
But
go
I
ahead
do
and
have
tweet
to
that
say
out.
I do have to say that. Are we somewhat maybe a prisoner of the moment of what Siakam was able to do this season? Because I know for a fact it was not Siakam's world that we were living in last season, and we knew that because that series against the Knicks was 100% Halliburton.
I think you're prisoner of that moment specifically, though, because I think last season it was even more Siakam show than Halliburton's. I think if anything, Halliburton took it
throughout the
entirety
season.
of the playoffs. I'm talking about the entire season.
If I'm blaming anybody on our fucking trouble, it's Aaron Nesmith. Fuck that guy. Both fucking
valid.
and he's been
Oh,
like
Sure.
Nemhard.
But I think
he's
Halliburton's
been that
also
rock. He's been that
himself.
steadying rock for them, right? That person that they can lean
I
on.
don't think the gap is very big between Halliburton and Siakam.
Yeah.
Halliburton's more vocal. He's the leader of the team. Siakam is not. But
I think
he's
it also
probably the
just
most
comes with him
talented
being the point
player
guard,
on
though,
the
too.
huh?
That also comes with him being the point guard. Like,
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But not
And-
every point guard is.
Here, I think we're both. I think we're both right.
Yeah, it's not diminishing.
At any given point, they're both at any given point. Either one of them could be the best player on that team. But
Yeah,
if
it's
you're
not-
saying the most consistent, then I have no argument because that is Siakam. Because Halliburton will have a whole doo-doo garbage game, right?
And I think that's it though, right? Because if you show up and you drop 50 points and then you no show for the next 2 weeks of the season, I'm not calling you the best player. And like that's just me going on the extreme level. I just want the guy who shows up day in, day out, gives us the best game he possibly can. And Halliburton's that guy who has flashes. He's just not as consistent as you probably want him to be. That's why I would still say Siakam's the best player on this team.
even still this offseason, or in offseason, Jesus, on this postseason,
Yeah.
so many of his moments, especially in the finals, was he ain't did nothing first half. Then midway through the third quarter, it's all of a sudden Halliburton has turned it on. Now, if that works, it works. But
Right.
I don't know if I can call you the best player if I have to wait until the third quarter, 36 minutes into the game, to be like, hey, you better turn it on now.
Well, do you think maybe they're just suffering from the Kobe and Shaq-itis? The idea
Oh,
of
it could be. That's
your big guy is literally carrying the load, and then your closer comes in.
It's possible, but we've also seen them play on different teams, and we've seen Siakam carry the Raptors by himself as best as he could, and then we've also seen Halliburton still no show by himself.
Whoa, hold on. Carry the Raptors the best.
I said the best he could.
What,
That didn't mean he carried them
carry
far.
mean?
Keep that in mind.
That's the word I'm stuck on. What does carry mean?
I mean, he was the best player on that team. That's all that means.
well, that wasn't hard to do.
But my entire point is we've seen them play without each other, unlike Kobe and Shaq early on, really, where it's like Kobe came in and Shaq was there, you know? So
I mean-
I don't know if I can call it Kobe and Shaq-itis, where I've seen Halliburton play without Siakam, and it's kind of very much the same thing. Of
why he got his chest out so much.
Right?
happening.
as someone not watching, that is just a random.
Carter-
I was going to say that was wild to come in with.
Because Carter Bryant just got drafted to the Spurs, and he got up, and it was just all chest. Like he got a blazer on with no shirt. He might, at best, he might have a tank top on, but it's just all chest.
Yeah, I don't even think so.
So, getting off Halliburton Siakam talk, where do we think the Pacers go with
From
Halliburton
here?
out for a whole season? Like
You know
we kind of
what's
touched on it, but
Let's see. Well, that's the thing. They're pretty deep. They can probably hold the fort.
yeah,
I don't know if they'll get as far in the playoffs. I still think they'll make the playoffs.
Oh yeah, for sure. I still think they'll be
pretty.
top 6. I just
Because you could start
Playoffs.
Nemhard and do the same, and just add fucking what's his name, Mathurin at shooting guard. Now you have your shooting. They barely change. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You're not making too many changes here.
Do you think Miles
that-
Turner walks?
That's a good question. He's what makes them different because not many centers can stretch the floor like that, and that's gonna be interesting.
I'm starting the Miles Turner team up with Giannis front court agenda. That's personally what I'm
Hey
going
man,
for.
I mean,
I'm here for it.
I'm not
I am
jumping
here
forward.
for
Say
it.
this, you're the Pacers. Whatever you have to let go to keep Miles Turner, you do that. And I say this because schematically, what made the Pacers almost unguardable in that series against the Knicks is the idea that you couldn't keep Cat in the paint to rebound a lot because Turner would always come out, right? So it left backdoor cuts and everything with the Pacers. So I'm like, Miles Turner is a big piece of what you do, and he kind of helps space everything, right? To where you can shoot very well. You can do a lot of backdoor cuts because it forces the big man to come up. You know what? It depends on what you replace him with. If you replace him with someone else who could shoot at the 5, great. But if not, I don't know if you let that walk. I don't know if you do that.
I brought up the question, but I will say I don't think that he walks just because obviously he spent his whole career in Indiana.
Yeah.
And
They got close this year.
He got so close, and it's I don't know if he feels like it was well, this is our windows closing type of situation. Like they were very much an injury away from winning it all.
I mean, shit, isn't he the oldest? Is that
Yeah,
what-
he might be the oldest player on that team.
Yeah, like the window is very much still open. They're young as shit on it.
Well, no,
Siakam's here.
Siakam might be older.
I don't think Siakam's older. I think maybe they're around the same age.
Let
but I don't
me
think
look
Siakam-
it up. So Miles Turner
to
is 29.
Turner been around a minute. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Turner's
before Siakam.
29. Let me see how old.
Turner's
Siakam's
29.
31.
Wow.
31?
I'm pretty sure Siakam got drafted after.
He got drafted in 2016. Yeah, he did.
That's
Turner got
crazy.
drafted. I mean, a year after 2015 to 2016.
Fair, but like,
No,
it's like
I
how
said
much
I thought they
31
were
to
around
what?
the same age.
No, I'm talking about Joel saying like I'm sure Siakam got drafted later. It's like a year later. I mean, that probably just means Siakam was. Did he go to college or he just come from
He
overseas?
probably did all 4 years. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Did he go to college? He might just be overseas. I don't know.
No,
I
no,
think he's
he
just.
was
I think he's overseas.
I thought it
Let me
was
check.
I
G
think-
League, college
I've never heard
career.
anybody talk about Siakam college days, so I don't
New
know.
Mexico State University.
why.
I stand why no one's ever talking about his college days.
I'll be honest. That was like when I found out Duke had a football team. I said, whoa,
Who
whoa.
has a football? I keep forgetting that. That's so funny.
Every time I hear it, I get even more and more confused. Like, wait, that can't be a thing, right? Like, I've
Duke
never heard anyone talk about it.
Nasty word.
I don't know. You think they got any NFL players?
Who?
Duke? Yes.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones.
He went to Duke.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
I was confused.
I didn't know that. I didn't know where he
I
went. to,
remember when
honestly.
they drafted him and everyone was just like, who? And I'm like, oh, Duke. I'm like, wait, no. He couldn't have been drafted if he played basketball. I'm like, wait, they have a football team? I've never heard someone mention them as a football team. So when they said that, I said, oh, no, maybe it's like a different team or something. Like, no, actual Duke? Yeah. Fucking blew my mind. Blew my mind.
Ben Watson went to Duke. Remember him from the Patriots?
Oh, shit.
I'm gonna pitch something crazy to you guys.
Oh, my
Since we still have the Pacers on the board, what if they trade for Embiid?
Who are they giving up?
Pacers?
Yeah,
Let's see. Can they make the money work?
I'm out.
Another trade.
I'm out. Here's the problem, though, with that concept, Mike. You're betting too much on what that team will look like, not this upcoming year, the year after. So you would essentially have to somewhat waste a year of Embiid. Because I can tell you right now, if I'm Philly, Nembhard, Naismith, they coming with me. And Turner. They coming with me. And
Turner, you can't because he's a free agent. I'm doing ESPN Trade
I'm assuming
Machine.
maybe a sign and trade, maybe.
Trade Machine won't let me do that, so I got to go off what I can actually trade.
Got you.
The
Well,
snake.
I'll say this, Mike. If I'm Philly, I'm looking to get as much of your core as possible. But I'd do it if I'm Philly.
yeah. I mean, it's just the Pacers do have a lot of assets,
Mhm.
and if Embiid can become MVP Joel Embiid again, even if it's for a short amount of time, if you have Halliburton and you have Siakam, right, and you have these other players around him, you probably can afford him to like take some extra time off and not play as many minutes, and maybe
I
he
don't
can
know if
make
the
something
money
work.
works, y'all.
I'm making
Interesting.
like 50, right?
Embiid,
Something like that.
Embiid is getting 51. So you were saying
Ooh.
you said Nembhard, Naismith, and who else?
I was saying Turner would have been like a sign and trade. Like you sign him,
I don't
then you
even
trade
with
him.
even okay. So right now Turner was only at 19.9, so he would have to. I guess no, because if they're not counting that against it because
I
he's
don't
obviously a
trust
free agent.
Embiid, man.
Right.
But-
That's why I said I'm more so going off of you re-sign him, and then if something like that opens up, then
Yeah, maybe with that will, but like Naismith and Nembhard are together 13.
right. Yeah, no, I know. That's why I said. That's why I was telling Mike most of your nucleus. So I was adding in those two with a Turner.
Like
If
you might,
you re-sign him.
yeah, that's probably their only way that they can do it because I've tried to players the money. I didn't know Embiid was making that much. Like
That's a lot of dough
Oh,
for a guy
wait,
who's
hold on.
consistently been hurt.
Hold on, time out. Can we let Mike cook for a second? Mike just brought up something that just sent off a light bulb in my head. Mike wants to put together injury-prone Tyrese Halliburton with injury-prone Joel Embiid to make sure that franchise never wins anything ever. I'm with Mike. Make
He
it
was
happen.
cooking. That's
Right
why I tried to.
now. He's
That's why I was
cooking.
trying to make it work.
Do it,
I
Mike.
was.
God damn,
Y'all-
that's the GM. Let's do it. Let's do it. No more Pacer wins. I like it. I love
Might
it.
have to bring in a third team. We're gonna
Fuck
bring
it.
in.
You know what? You know what? We'll help out. We'll throw Deuce in there. Deuce, Mitch, whatever we need to do to help that. Make it happen. Make it happen so we can ensure no more winning ever happens again in Indiana. No
You
problem.
say that in the 1 year that they stay healthy, they win a chip.
Man, I tell you what.
Because that team would win it. That's my point. That's why I pitched it. Because it's like,
Oh,
if the stars align, Halliburton and Embiid would be nasty with Siakam there at the 4.
That's an insane.
You know what, Mike? Just because I don't like your attitude, Turner stays. Put him at power forward. I want Siakam to Philly. How about that? All right.
Gotta make the money work. Hold up.
Philly would do that.
That the money would work.
Let's do that then. There you go, Mike. I love the way you think. You're a future GM, Mike. I love it.
You could give up Siakam, Naismith, and Nembhard for Embiid.
Let's do it. Amen. 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 Pacers will never.
Hey, if I can get in the league as a GM, I'll definitely do it because John Horst ain't doing nothing. What's he doing right now, man?
Man, let me tell you, I might have to drive down to the Fiserv Forum tomorrow and like, yo, what happened?
I like how he just in Pfizer Forum 24/7.
Just he's sitting mid court.
I do like the idea of Did showing up there at the head of the table, just like things need to change.
I am now the GM.
We have no picks until 31, man.
I know. I saw that and I got really sad.
Now look at this rich ass fucking team. You know what? I hope.
Why
8
do
of
they
them
have a
players
top
want their
15 pick?
contract. I hope 8 of their starting starters and reserves want big contracts. That's what
They
I
got a center.
And like, look, the players
That
that they
loves to play
losing don't
small.
even matter that much. Like, granted, they matter. Don't get me wrong. That was very rude to me to say. But like, they in the
No,
grand
you're not
scheme
wrong.
of
As far
things,
as like the core of this team and like the depth of their
young.
bench, yeah, I get you for sure. Like, how is Alex Caruso not on due for a deal? You know,
because they were
This is-
smart. I think they locked them up when they needed to.
yeah, I think so. When like 3 years ago, when they won 24 games, they were just
this
like one
team
day.
title, and they're not even at the first apron, bro. It is so over.
Not even at
They
the
not even at the
tax
tip.
threshold.
Yeah. No.
And they got picks for days.
Hey,
This could be a dynasty if they play it right.
dude,
They-
I
it
ain't
could.
gonna lie to y'all. If OKC for a second starts to think about money, y'all should wrap y'all head around the idea that that's a perfect trade candidate for Giannis. Perfect.
Oh,
You
1,000%.
couldn't get any
If they want Giannis, this is one of the teams I actually listen to.
Yep,
That's
give
what
me
I'm saying.
Jalen
You
Williams,
can't
give me
better than
Chet.
that.
Who else
It's
I
like I
want?
want everybody except Shea because I know y'all.
Yeah, I know they're not giving up Shea, so I'm just give me Jalen
Hey,
Williams, give me
did.
Chet.
I want all
Don't
four
do
of them
that to yourself.
starting.
You ask first. You ask.
Ask
And
first.
let them say no.
We
Yeah,
not
you
the
let
we
them
not
say
the
no.
Lakers. They not gonna do that.
Hey,
If that was
I'm
LA,
saying,
they might.
Look, wait, Joel, wasn't that what everyone said when they heard that we made that trade with the Nets? Like the Nets would never do that, and they were like, "Oh, they did. You just had to ask. That's
Yeah.
it. You just
Yeah,
had
like,
to
we
ask.
want everything you have. I'm like, you got it.
You got it, buddy. You got it, dude.
We'll be like, hey, we have all these brand deals because of Giannis. You know, you guys gonna get some of that Nike money. You go get that
Right.
Google money. You know, like Shea is from Canada. He's got nothing really going on
Right,
right,
what
now.
you
Just
wanna,
send him this way.
You want a Tim
You can
Hortons
guarantee
deal? Like
there
that's
will
all you
never
got.
be an
You want a Tim Horton deal?
No, but like, there's no the Thunder. There's nothing for us to really say. Like this team's
No.
gonna stay the same. They're going to if they. I don't know how they get better. Do they become a 70-win team next season? Like what happened?
This legit made me mad. Like, why do you have a top 15 pick?
And the 24. That's the crazy part.
It's sad.
Wait, you know a stat someone brought up the other day? They said the two teams that were in the finals. Do you know how they got that good? It was both off the back of Paul George. And when I sat back and thought about that,
Yes.
it made me hate Paul George even more. I'm like, that piece of
I
shit.
posted the Paul George trade, the Clippers Oklahoma City one in Discord the other day, and it's just It's sad looking back at it.
Oh.
It's crazy to think, bro. Crazy to think.
Why did everybody overvalue Paul George back in the day? That's the thing to look
At
back
one
at.
time,
You wanna know
he
the best
was
part?
balling.
Why did
I know, but
things not value Tyrese Halliburton more? That's because
Yeah,
remember when
yeah.
that trade happened, we were like, why? Like, what? I don't understand. Why did you make that trade? Like, I didn't understand how that made you better. In the long run, it made the Pacers better. Like, I
Yeah.
never understood how they won that trade. Now you could say they got Sabonis, right?
Who he does ball, but he's not a
He's not Halbert.
no. I get you.
He's not. But he's good. I mean, no doubt.
He is.
Fucking
Well,
really
be careful what you're saying, Joel, because Sports Illustrated is trying to conduct Sabonis to the Nick trade
wow.
scenarios, and I'm like, all right, hold on.
Why? For who?
For who?
Yeah.
Hold on. They were talking about getting rid of OG and Mikal
What?
and
No,
putting Sabonis with Cat.
that doesn't help. What? No, absolutely not. What? No,
All right, well,
that makes no
he
sense.
kept saying shit like he's a really good player.
He is a fucking great player.
That's
That doesn't make sense.
see,
That still
the-
doesn't make sense.
he's
the
good.
anger you feel, Joel, right in this moment is how we feel when y'all be giving us trades for Giannis Antetokounmpo. You're just like,
I'm just, we're like, I'm rejecting the better player of the three. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's the best of the. It doesn't make sense for us to get another big. It doesn't make it just the logic there doesn't really.
We're just trying to help Mike. All right, man. You don't have to be so mean.
Though our perimeter defenders should be better. I was a little disappointed in the wing stop. They should have been better. So maybe this new coach can get more out of them.
You know what? Calling themselves Wingstop was apropos. I couldn't for the life of me remember why.
They were named the wing
Until
stop.
I saw those two play, and I was just like, oh, yeah, that's why, because they ain't shit.
barbecue chicken.
It was frustrating. I was like, come on, you guys are good. Why isn't it working? Like,
Oh, no. I think too much ego went into those.
I don't
guys.
know. It does seem like there was some confusion. It does. Unfortunate. What was next? Memphis? I could do that one.
Mephisto?
Oh, the Grizzlies. Both of their rookies are injured to start the season.
Dang.
That's a great way to start.
Yo, can Scottie Pippen Jr. tell his dad to stop using AI images of himself when he could just take
That
the
was
freaking
such a
photo?
crazy post. Like,
Bro
bro posted an AI picture of himself with his rings in a jersey. Both things I would presume you have in your closet. Like, why?
You might have sold them, dog.
Oh shit! Portland is drafting what's his name? Hanson Yang
Oh yeah, I
Chinese
see the trade is in.
from China. It's been a while since we've got a Chinese player.
Is he tall?
Is he? I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't seen him yet. They haven't showed him.
I love the confusion from you both. I don't know.
I've never heard. Of him.
He's
I've
an
never heard of
NBA
him.
player, so I presume he's tall.
No, but I'm
Yeah,
talking
but
about
how
like crazy
tall?
tall. Like,
Yeah, I don't doubt it. He probably would
Crazy Yao
have
Ming.
earlier.
Oh.
He sounds like a wing.
he's a center.
Is he? Of course, he's a fucking center. They've all been centers lately.
I don't know if this guy beside him is very tall, but he doesn't look super tall. But again, the guy beside him might just also be very tall.
There he is.
That's just his power forward
Yeah,
running game.
I've seen this guy.
I've never seen this guy. He is thin though.
I've
He needs to bulk up. He does not have the Yao Ming bod.
No, he doesn't look as awkward.
It's
I
not
think it was awkwardly big, bro. Oh,
Apparently, he has a 10-inch hand length, which is the largest at the combine.
damn. I think I saw him at the Olympics. Did he play?
Presumably, he was first team All CBA. I would assume they not letting the first team All CBA not play at the
Two
Olympics.
CBA All Star, 2-time. No shit. I mean, I'm not to talk shit about the CBA, but
16, 10, and 3 last year with 2.6 blocks.
what was his height?
They still haven't showed it.
Fuck me.
He's towering over Adam Silver.
Most guys do.
That's also fair. 7'1".
Damn. All right, that's a decent height.
That's not
7'1".
Yao Ming height. Though I was hoping for like 7'4".
So this Memphis, that's another tall guy. Zach Edey's 7'4". Isn't he half Chinese too? That's interesting.
He's half Asian. I don't know if it's Chinese specifically.
I don't know what it is. Ying Hansen.
I'm gonna look it up. That way we don't sound, bigoted by saying that.
I just assumed. That's fair. That's on me.
He is half Chinese.
All right.
Vindication.
I assume because like China has a lot of they love basketball, you know.
Yeah, no, that is fair. He's Canadian.
Yeah, he's Canadian. I knew that. I knew
I
that.
did not.
Sure, he's Canadian. I did.
I like how you just draw the line at Canada. You just went,
Ugh.
Canadians.
Who are these guys?
No, he's.
Oh, they,
he's
do. They also got a
he's good
Japanese
height.
guy. Look, Kawamura. He's actually pretty good.
Who has a? They're
Memphis.
talking about the Chinese players on my screen. I don't know where you saw the Japanese.
Oh no, I'm saying Memphis has a
Memphis.
Japanese
We got the roster right here.
Oh, I thought
Which
you
we haven't
talking
talked about, by the way.
Yeah, I thought you were talking like the NBA was talking about their Japanese guy. I'm like, dang,
No,
I'm that behind.
Memphis has a Japanese player.
Yeah.
Who? What is the TW? Oh, two-way.
Two-way, yeah. Two-way.
He's also a free agent. I see.
Well, yeah, basically they have to.
Yeah.
It's two-way didn't extend to this season. They can always re-sign him again to two-way.
Memphis as a team is interesting. The Desmond Bain trade gives you the idea that like, hey, we might be blowing this up, but also it could have just been a case of we don't know if we were going to be able to keep him once he, needs his next contract. So we better to get something over nothing.
Yeah,
I'm kind of at like a wait and see with them right now because I want to see does Jaren Jackson Jr. get traded? Does the sky fall and John Morant gets traded? I don't know what to make of them right now.
I don't either. And they got their new coach with the name.
They just hired their he was one of their assistants, right?
Yeah. And
Yeah, okay.
For Jenkins. I'll get it now because I have it written down. It is Tomas Salo.
Oh, you could have kept that. I wouldn't. That still did nothing for me.
Tomas. Oh, Minnesota. I can go there.
This is another interesting team. What y'all got for Minnesota?
Minnesota. Well, this is what it looks like.
He's going to be keeping Jules.
Well, Jules is a player option. Nas is a player option.
I think Nas is gone, or at least he's going to decline the player option. I believe.
Okay. I mean, they're pretty.
That doesn't always mean a bad Kyrie.
Alexander Walker, their main bench players are available. That's why it's kind of interesting what happens.
Well,
they got Dante. They'll just leave them with Dante. That's it.
Why I say I think it's probably bad for them is look, you see where their salary is and the tax threshold.
They are so close.
Like they would have to get a team friendly deal for him to resign.
Right there.
Like,
Or just find a way to ship Rudy Gobert's ass up out of there, man. Fine.
Oh, and now they've just drafted a center, Joan Behringer. That's an interesting.
One French like the other.
Another French center to Minnesota.
Well, Rudy, you are going to be a Boston Celtic.
Ooh.
Or a Wizard. I love the way that's going.
Or we talked about it earlier. He might be a Jazz.
That's fair. I mean, whatever team you're trying to back to Jazz.
Another thing
Even the team tonight.
We want our picks back, no, sir.
Nothing like the oldies.
Yeah. Team of the night. ABA
Yeah.
block.
Yeah, I don't really know where you go with this team. I got to first see if Jules stays. That's a big domino.
Have there been any indications of whether or not he's going to accept or decline the option?
I don't know with him. I honestly don't. We didn't really give him much of an option to test free agency last time he could have, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if he maybe wants to. I don't know.
$30.9 million is a lot to, pass up.
He has to think. Does he think he can make more? That's what it comes down to.
Do y'all think he can make more?
Yes.
What?
Yes, he can make more somewhere.
You think so?
1,000%. Julius Randle, in the last 4 years, has been a 2-time All-Star. So I'm like, somebody would take him. I mean, shit, I wouldn't be surprised if Brooklyn Nets we need something. We need something. We'll take him. Shit, we got the money. We could do it. I just don't know if you're Julius Randle. Do you look at the fact that you were just in the Western Conference Finals Do you pass that up?
So he did say that he loves it here. You know that
Don't
he
they all?
said that this is the most meaningful basketball that he's played in his career. Talking about
He gets
Minnesota.
Excuse me. Go
You
ahead.
know what? He can suck a dick. Okay.
So
I'm trying to be
there is that.
The French are taking over, bro.
Interesting.
will say
I
this.
think he stays. That's a lot. That's a lot of money to turn down. And if he is that happy there, you just re-up in Minnesota.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
a player being
Or-
happy means as little to me as an organization being happy.
Or-
here.
Or he
That's how
extends.
Cat got traded.
If he's happy, they renegotiate a new contract.
yeah, he pulls a Kyrie, declines the
Yeah.
player option just to resign
Exactly.
with an extension.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the crazy thing: if you're Minnesota, right? If he does that, doesn't that make you even more cash strapped? And you need to
No,
They-
because
they-
you can play around with the way that the money falls.
Oh, you can push it later.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because they'll have more. There'll be more money for them to use later. So, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
you gotta weigh your options. You gotta see. Remember this: if they were talking about trying to get Durant, which in my mind meant you couldn't have been keeping Julius Randle.
That's for sure.
So I'd be a little concerned if I'm Julius Randle. That was numero uno of them saying first chance we can get better than you.
I mean, that's also Kevin Durant, though.
yeah. I was
you know,
gonna
like,
say
No,
that's
I know,
the-
but I'm saying, look, Jaylen Brown went through the same thing. Every chance he got to think about trading that man, they discussed it. So I mean, could just be conversation. But yeah, to me, it's Julius Randle resigns, then that's a
Yeah.
good start, and this team could be just as good as they were last year. But Ant's gonna have to figure out his conditioning. He's got to figure out his conditioning. He's got to figure out how to make himself. He's got to be a better team player. And what I mean by that is he's got to figure out ways to make his guys better. I kind of felt like once he lost it, the team just kind of lost confidence. No one felt like, hey, I can pick this up and maybe pick up from where you left off and carry it. So you got to work on that. You got to work on that. And that might just come from, getting a little bit better on that bench, which might not help with you losing.
Yeah.
Alexander Walker.
I was just gonna add that I don't know what the Timberwolves ceiling is, right? Like unless they take a massive step backwards, they lost to the Thunder. It's like
Yeah.
they're gonna lose to the Thunder again. Like we just went over how the Thunder is not gonna change roster wise going into the next
They
season.
might
So it's
get
like
better, yeah.
Wait, how many
I-
games did they go? Did Timberwolves
5?
go? 5?
And, well, that's-
I don't
that's-
know. I don't know if I'm ready to say that. If Anthony,
you think that they can actually beat the Thunder? Because like
Yeah.
if that's where they're capping them right now, I don't know how much they get better.
to me, I think it's well, obviously, let me correct what I'm saying. You obviously need to make your team better. But to me, it's less about what the others do and more about what Anthony Edwards didn't do in those last two in that last game. So, and that's kind of what we talked about with Anthony Edwards last year against Dallas. The year before against Dallas. So, for me, it's more so what can he do to elevate himself to that next level, right? Because we kind of saw Shai do that, right? So it's like, can he do the same thing? If he can do the same thing, I think there's a really good chance that he can maybe get over that hump.
That's fair. I think Western Conference Finals is the kind of their ceiling because I don't think that even if Ant, takes that next step, 4-1 isn't just one player taking the next step away. Like you guys had got gentlemen's slipped. Like
I know, but he didn't play the greatest, did you?
I mean,
You said what?
in some games.
Right.
But I don't think him playing well enough. Like, what was it? I think it was game 4 where they lost by 2. He played really well that game, and it still wasn't enough.
Yeah, and like since this is going into next season, I just don't know what you do roster wise. Like we can talk about him improving. Like yeah, he can take the next leap and he can become the reincarnation of Kobe Bryant, right? That might change everything. But if you're the GM building this roster, I don't know what we do. to
Well,
get much better than we are now.
Because I don't think Julius Randle necessarily played the greatest in that series. So those are two guys that if you can get them to play better, it goes a long way, is what I'm saying. We saw essentially in the Eastern Conference, it was a lot of a two-man race, right? Obviously, the bench is what stuck out the most of what got the Pacers to where they needed to go. But we were just debating between Halliburton and Siakam, right? They had a great 1-2 punch that was, again, I know you guys say Halliburton wasn't necessarily, but again, with each other was somewhat consistent enough to get them to where they needed to be. I think if you can get Julius Randle to be more consistent, which has always been his problem, and Anthony Edwards to be more consistent, I think it goes a long way. I don't think they're.
I think that's. Sorry, but like the Pacers specifically is kind of the point, though, right? When you look at how the Pacers are built, that is a deep team, like 1 through 9. I would argue that's how deep they can go in a playoff series. So when you have a night where Halliburton has 4 points, the team doesn't fall apart. And I think to Randall's and Anthony Edwards' defense here, if the rest of the roster can pick them up a little bit, kind of like the Pacers do, doesn't that kind of just even it out? So don't you need to have more depth on this team as opposed to just be better Anthony Edwards? Like, I don't know if we could just make that happen overnight.
That comes with time and hope, basically, because how can you predict what comes next year? Anthony Edwards, you expect to get better every year. If he does it, then you got to either add more pieces, better pieces, and he becomes the number 2 instead of the 1. I don't know, but that's later. He's still young. He still has time.
Yeah, I mean, then I don't know. I just don't think that they need massive overhauls. I think they just need more out of the guys that they can bring back. Dante for a while was really good for them, and then just hit a wall. But we'll take care of him and get him back to New York.
Was that wall just the Thunder? That's kind of back to the original question of the wall is the Thunder are just that good, and I don't know what you do to overcome that.
Yeah, that's why I said like sort of that their wall is the Western Conference Finals, right? Like they're obviously getting to the Western Conference Finals as your ceiling is phenomenal,
right?
But I think there's still a clear delineation from them and the Thunder, and who knows what Houston's going to be now. Like, you have no faith in Houston still? Interesting. Okay.
There's an argument I had with Joel. I am not still high on the older Durant gets. He'll stay as great as he has been. I think the older he gets, the more that's going to start to slowly dwindle away.
You've taken the Tom Brady approach.
You said I've taken the Tom Brady approach?
Yeah, now you're the one saying that he's going to fall off a cliff. Remember that whole thing?
No, not fall off a cliff. I don't think LeBron fell off a cliff this postseason. I think he's took a step back. I think he's not the LeBron James he's always been.
But wouldn't you still rather have LeBron James than not have him?
Okay, let me ask you this.
My thing is like a step back, Durant is still better than Jalen Green. What happened?
Do you want Aaron Rodgers on the Giants right now?
No, I didn't want him, but it was more not because he wasn't good, just that he was a headache.
So you think Aaron Rodgers still plays well enough to be good for your team?
I think he probably would have been fine.
Aaron Rodgers statistically had a really good season last year.
Yeah, I didn't.
That didn't really amount to much winning.
Yeah, but
I mean, the Jets were a dumpster fire.
Yeah,
I don't know if I could say that, man. I don't know. It starts with him, and I think that was just poor leadership all the way down.
Where we're going.
I think it's the same with Kevin Durant. I do not.
Walter Clayton got traded to the Jazz, by the way.
Yes, he did.
So we already talked about the Jazz, yeah. This is Washington's second pick, and he got traded.
He got traded.
I love how we had this slide up and we didn't talk about him, so Joel had to circle all the way back to the Rockets.
Yeah,
that was interesting.
I agree to an extent with Juwan that the older he gets, Kevin Durant is just going to slowly regress. That's just. But I do think that somehow the Rockets kept most of the core that they wanted to, and so you're just adding Durant to that, really. And so I would expect it to be bad for them. You know.
I can't. Especially for the next at least 2 or 3 years. I mean,
Yeah.
at least 2 years. I think that's a good move for them.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know if it's beat the Thunder good. That's really where we are at this point.
Right.
The Thunder
I
are
think
that
that's
what nobody in the West is you're like,
Let's not even go that far.
Yeah,
Who did they lose to last year? I mean, this year.
the Lakers, right?
Are they drastically better than the Lakers now? All of a sudden, I don't think so.
I could
Well, you
also
see,
be wrong.
if it all depends on if Bronny takes that second year leap.
what if Bronny comes back this year playing like 03 LeBron? Like,
If Bronny shows up as 03 LeBron,
That might be
I'm
crazy.
done. It's over, man.
But
That'd
no,
be insane.
realistically, if we look at this, right?
they
Durant
lost to the
LeBron
Warriors, by
cancel
the way,
each
in
other out.
7. I was wrong.
LeBron and Durant cancel each other out. And
No,
then there's-
I'm saying by the way, I was wrong. They lost to the Warriors in 7.
oh, they lost to the Warriors. Oh,
yeah, that
okay.
did go 7.
Okay,
Yeah.
then
God, that
you know
felt like
what?
forever ago.
Did
It did. That's why I was shocked.
I apologize, but I'll keep my same point. I don't think that they're better than the Lakers. I don't think they're better than Denver.
Oh, I thought you were
I
going to
don't
say you don't
think
think they're better than the Warriors.
Oh no. I have to see them make moves. No, I'm not crazy.
Okay.
I still have the Lakers better than them, Denver better than them, and the Timberwolves better than them.
The Lakers, I don't know, because at some point, Father Time has to win, right?
No,
Why did we say that about Durant?
You want to go 1-on-1 with LeBron James? You think Father Time will go win that battle?
I'm just saying, why can't we say that about LeBron? I mean, about Durant. That's all I'm saying.
Well, because Durant's game is so much about Durant could turn into a more effective Ray Allen, right? Where Durant shoots a lot. What do you mean?
LeBron could just be a point guard. Like he could just be a facilitator.
No, because you kind of need Luka to be doing that. Like Luka has to have the ball. He has to come up with the ball.
they both can. It's the
Yeah.
point.
But Luka's more effective. Like,
He's the future though. That's why.
but that's what I'm
good.
saying. In order for Luka, not even saying that Luka's more effective than LeBron at it, but for Luka to be his best player,
I'm just
he
saying
kind of has to be ball dominant.
that's when I was talking Lakers. All right.
Well, no, we're still talking. We're still talking. We're still talking Houston. 'Cause
Patience, we'll get there.
we're talking about is Houston better than LA? And
I think I think so. On paper right now, unless it's still early. Lakers have to make moves though.
fair.
Oh, God, I
I'm
don't wanna
sorry.
see
I
Lakers make
can't
moves.
ignore
That scares
that
me.
one team has Luka and LeBron, and the other team
mean-
has what Van Vliet and Durant.
You
Durant
go
and
just,
LeBron
you just
cancel each other out.
okay.
And who did the Lakers
And
lose?
who's
to?
even close to Luka on this team?
Who
You
did
know
the
what?
Lakers lose?
I don't have an answer
You're
to that.
struggling to find someone
I
as
don't-
good as
but-
Reeves on this team.
Ooh, that's false.
Who's as good as Austin Reeves?
You
On
just want
on the
Austin Reeves.
Rockets?
Yeah, I was gonna say like
Yes, on the
Amen
Rockets.
Thompson.
Kevin Durant, Alfred Sengun, like right there.
Amen Thompson's
No.
better than.
I was about
Amen
to
Thompson
say
has
most
more
of the starting
upside.
lineup I would take.
Cancel those
but-
two out. LeBron
Yeah,
and
Amen
Durant
Thompson
cancel
has
each
more
other.
upside for sure.
Then Reeves?
Yes.
Yes.
I saw Reeves drop 40 this year.
So did Pat Connaughton.
Connaughton is coveted. He's coveted. All right.
By China. I'm
Back
kidding.
on it. I'm just
Get ready to
saying,
learn
I saw
Chinese,
Reeves.
buddy.
I saw Reeves step up in games where LeBron didn't have it. That's all I'm saying. He looked like somebody that could be.
Yeah, this is not a shot at Austin Reeves at all. It's
I think
just
he's a legit number 2 option. Thompson is not a number 2 option here. It'd be Sengun. Or Sanguine. However the fuck you pronounce it.
Shengu.
He'd be your second option. Thompson would be
Thompson's
your
career
third option.
Thompson's career high is 35. By the way, 5 points. If we're going off that
Thompson
40 point, like, 5
Thompson
points.
is really, really good. Thompson,
I'll take the 5
I'm
point
not-
play.
I'm not pooping on him.
and I'm pretty
saying
sure Fred VanVleet has dropped
Reeves-
40.
Reeves
Like,
is the third best player. Thompson is the third best player. I'm saying I want Reeves intangibles over
We-
Thompson.
we
That's
get
what
distracted
well, no,
by
if we're gonna do intangibles, Alman is a walking intangible.
Hold on. What were
He's
you
just
about
not a
to say,
good
Mike?
shooter.
yeah, we're just falling into the trappings that people tend to when they talk hoops of like the one-on-one aspect of the player. Yeah, if you want to say that Austin Reeves is better, I'm not going to dispute that. That's not really the argument. If we're talking about the team itself, I think the Lakers have like 3 good players. I think I'd take the roster of the Houston Rockets over the LA Lakers right now.
Yeah, because even if you're adding Austin Reeves after that, like Rui Hachimura, decent player. he ain't better than nobody on this rock. Like nobody on the starting five.
He's not better than Jabari. You're right. You're absolutely right. What I'm saying is,
You don't like Amin Thompson? Is that what it is?
Yeah, no, I do think Juwan don't like Amin Thompson.
no. I prefer Reeves. I didn't say Deuce McBride was better than Amin Thompson. I'm not making him sound like a scrub. I prefer Reeves. I would rather Reeves be my third option than Amin Thompson.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to refocus the conversation of if we're going who has the best three players, I'm not going to argue that. It's the rest of the roster where it's like I don't think the Lakers compete.
Yeah,
okay,
let
me ask you this. Let me ask you this then. Let's keep it to the Rockets. How many more games does Durant make them better?
me see. They were 2 seed last year.
They were the number 2 seed.
Honestly,
Durant.
Again, we go into the specter of the Thunder. 2 seed is probably their max. They can easily be 2 seed again.
I mean,
but now they're harder to take on one-on-one.
Right.
You know what I mean,
yeah, I mean, like Durant isn't gonna. If we're gonna say is he gonna add wins to the regular season, I don't think he does. I do think he helps them in the postseason, and they lost in the first round in 7. Like I don't think that happens with Kevin Durant here. Now will they get?
I think a full off season of getting Luka acclimated to how that team should play around Luka rather than playing around LeBron and surrounding them with more shooters. I 100% think the Lakers will be better than the Houston Rockets this upcoming season. 100%.
To be fair, the Lakers were 2 games behind the Houston Rockets this year. So it's not like it's still, it's not like we're talking drastically different. Like 2 games.
I'm not saying Houston's going to be bummed. I think that's what's making it sound like I'm saying. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
I didn't know you were this high on Austin Reeves.
Lakers, Timberwolves, and Nuggets, I still think are better than the Rockets. I still do.
The fact that the Rockets were number 2 seed as they were, I think it was impressive. And now you got Kevin Durant. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
And I'm saying Diggs just told me the Lakers were 2 games behind that, and they added Luka.
They already had Luka,
right? To become the 3 seed, they had Luka and were the 3 seed,
right? And that's where the hang-up's coming is that. Sorry, go.
No, I'm saying that trade was at the deadline.
Okay, but they still have
half the season.
They still lost with him on the team. Is my point.
Okay, hold on. All I'm saying is they were already really good without Luka, right?
Right.
They just maintained with Luka. Am I wrong for saying that?
But what makes them take that step, right? I guess that's where. I guess now we can talk Lakers.
But that's what I'm.
Yeah, I guess you can switch it. Now we're on the Lakers.
What I'm saying will help him make that step is that I think getting Luka properly. I think when you threw Luka and LeBron together, not enough was thought about is how they're the exact same player.
Okay,
like they're the exact same player. Neither one of them necessarily shoot all the greatest. And I'm not saying he's not. I'm saying you don't put Luka as your shooting guard, right? And just ask him to spot up and shoot. I'm saying they're legit almost the same exact player.
No,
so you have to figure out
he's a good shooter.
Taylor.
But see, I guess this is where my original statement of at some point Father Time has to win, right? Comes in. And granted, if we're gonna take the football analogy like we were doing earlier, we had the same
Speaking
question.
Of a player option, LeBron,
yeah, I mean we know that's just going to be accepted. Well, he might decline it to resign again, but
you saw the commercial. He might not. He might do other stuff. He wants to get into acting. Apparently,
he does want to get into acting. Apparently, maybe. But
one more.
It's the same thing that people were saying towards the end of Brady's career. Like I said, to use the football analogy, at some point, Father Time has to win. And I'm not saying LeBron's going to come out there and be a scrub, but we've seen that LeBron isn't the LeBron of 2018. If he's not, if he takes one more step back, it's probably still going to be phenomenal. But is that enough?
I think the Lakers need a big man. The Lakers need a big man.
You guys are speaking.
You don't got faith in Jackson Hayes?
You guys are speaking on the other side of someone extremely injury prone and old. That's all I'm saying. So it's the same thing.
The past couple years, LeBron has been more injury prone.
Because he's old. You're making my point for why I'm saying the same thing for the other side. That's all I'm saying. It's the same thing, but more so with the guy who had numerous ACL tears. right?
I guess we're looking at it differently in this aspect, Joanne, because you're saying you think that the Lakers will be better because they have LeBron and Luka and Austin Reeves, and they were already 2 games back of the Rockets this past season, who just added KD. We've already seen LeBron and Luka play, and so you're taking that they're going to make a next step leap that we just haven't gotten to yet because we're still unsure about how much better the Lakers will get because we've already seen them play together. That's really what it is.
No,
We've seen Luka and LeBron. We haven't seen KD on the Rockets yet. That's all.
You're 100% right. But I'm saying what you guys aren't putting enough pressure on is that you need those young kids to make that leap with the addition of Durant. I'm saying I do think Luka can go another step up. We know LeBron is LeBron. Wherever he's at, he can only get worse. Can't get any better. Right? I do think Luka can elevate. I do think Austin Reeves can elevate. You guys are saying you think their youth can elevate. I'm saying I don't see it. I don't see it. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So
Yeah,
that's what
I think we're saying the same thing for the opposite side.
You guys believe more in their youth than I do. That's really all it comes down to.
Not even that, for me at least. I just think they're deeper. Is all it comes down to.
Yeah. That's why I kept saying it's a team.
Well,
like
we'll
if
see
we're
what the
going
Lakers-
bad for
Like I said,
bad,
the Lakers, the Şengün's on the floor. They're not doing shit.
Yeah,
Like,
Jackson Hayes ain't got nothing for Sengun.
none of them do. That's the problem.
Well, we'll see what
they
the
need a
Lakers
center
make.
so bad, y'all.
They do. They need a defense. And look, it's early. I think they'll get one. I don't know who.
Do they have a first? They don't have a first round pick. Trash.
I mean, don't be surprised they go after Brook Lopez's old ass.
Ooh, you don't want to do that.
No, let him go back home. That's the theme of the night.
Oh,
Brooks be back home?
He a human. No, I think he's originally from there.
From where?
I thought he got drafted by the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, no, he did. New Jersey.
No, but he's originally from like L.A.
He is.
Oh,
He's
you
from
mean
California.
And he played for the Lakers, is all I'm saying.
He did. He did. Actually, that's when I thought he felt like he was done, and then he revived his career in Milwaukee.
Yep.
But no, you don't need another human turnstile out there.
I mean,
LeBron,
he's getting old.
James,
Maybe he's better.
40
than
Their own mistakes, bro.
50-year-old LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and Brook Lopez on the defensive side of the ball is just going to be the slowest lineup ever, man.
It's crazy that 50-year-old LeBron James would be the best defensive player of the three.
No, but yeah, like father time catching up with LeBron. I don't know, because like, what do you expect from him at this age? Like him averaging 15 points, right? 6 rebounds. That's still really good for a player at that age.
It
So,
is.
Like, is that what we? Is that?
He's still like 1 or 2 in the West in the league at forward. Like,
Yeah, he averaged. Now to be fair, 24. What did you said? You said 15. That is a 9-point drop. He averaged 24, 8, and 8.
That is. See, that's ridiculous. That's just ridiculous.
But that's why I had to question. Like Father
Those
Time
minutes.
at some point, like LeBron is basically looking at Father Time. Him is looking at him like, yeah, you got nothing on me. And it's like at some point, it has to, right?
It was like I was telling you during the season at one point. I was telling you
No.
and Joel, like LeBron can feasibly play until he's 60 at this rate. Because if he drops to a 10-point per game scorer, that is still worth having in the league. And at the rate he's declining, he's
He
gonna
only
be
missed-
averaging double digits for a long
he
time.
only missed 11 games and played like 35 minutes.
It's crazy.
At
Those
40.
3 years, those 3 years that he I think he played like 45 a game, like 45 games, like 3 seasons in a row. That might have
Yeah.
helped him. Like the man
Yeah.
missed half the season and was like, look, I can do 2 or 3 more. Like, let's go.
It may have been. You're right. It's possible.
Full season
Recovery
of Luka on the Lakers is going to be exciting. Especially,
is.
I don't know if y'all seen the Instagram post, but he's eating healthy now, so we don't get
I'm
prime
looking forward.
Luka.
I'm looking forward to seeing if he actually comes into shape.
I think
Like real shape. You know?
I will say to give Juwan Bell, I do think that the offseason of LeBron probably calling Luka every day, like, yo, you getting on my workout plan, might go crazy.
He don't work out plan like Brady did. What was the TV
I'm
show?
sure. Well, remember Brady did that sort of at the end of his
LB23.
career. Like, yeah, it that came out like he had like a
LJ.
year or 2 left. LJ 23 might be showing up this year. Like,
Yeah.
LJ6 or whatever, like whatever he's gonna end up calling.
Whatever he wants to call it at the end of the day. LeBron James.
LeBron James.
Lakers.
I don't want to talk about the Jazz again. Why do they have so many picks?
They have 4, bro. You didn't see the slide from before?
I did. I was hoping they traded some of them away.
You thought they traded him away during the conversation?
Wait, did they
Only
trade
one more.
there?
They traded this one to the Wizards,
Who?
the Jazz.
No, did they trade a player, like a current player that?
Oh, I have no idea.
No,
I've
no
only heard them
players.
talk about
Then
picks.
Only one
Is there
player.
a team
got
we have
traded.
not talked about yet?
Oh,
That's
funny.
coming up.
We never talk about Denver because they don't have a pick. But we can talk
They
about
have
Denver.
no picks at all.
No, they've not. Unless they trade into it or buy one or whatever.
Now this is a team that I think their championship window closed.
Mm,
I don't. So I'll elaborate. I don't think that their championship window closed because they've
Jokic is so
gotten worse. Jokic is still on the team. It's fair. But I think every team around them has gotten better. And so when you're just stagnant, it's kind of rough.
Yeah, I think they did.
They have to make
I
it.
don't
They have
know.
to make a change.
well, yes. Let me be clear. They cannot stay the same. Yes, they need to make changes. But really, I think the only team that is head over heels drastically better than Denver is OKC, and that's an argument you can make with any team in the West.
Every team.
Is that OKC is better than
68 wins. You're better than everybody, man.
right? To me, the reason why I don't think their window is closed is because Jokic's game is tailor-made for whatever you necessarily put around him. So if you could just find things that just complement him better, especially guys that can stay healthy, cough, Aaron Gordon. I think he always gives you a shot. I mean, who'd they lose to? Timberwolves, right? And they went 7, right?
No, they lost to the Thunder, and it did go 7.
Oh, but it went 7, right?
They also got blown out in Game 7.
Yes, but we're talking an Aaron Gordon that was just not himself. We know Jamal Murray just completely disappeared. So
Does
like
that more often than you think.
you said, what? Yeah, 100%. I agree, especially if they play the Lakers. No, I'm sorry. He shows up when they play.
He shows
the
up when they play the Lakers.
Lakers.
Yeah.
I think they do need retooling, but I
Mhm.
think as long as Jokic can continue to play like he plays, I think that team's always going to be in that conference, always in the mix. You know what I like, Ditch? You notice how you didn't say necessarily that the Bucks championship window closed because you always have Giannis. So it now comes down to what do you put around Giannis.
No, I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you. I was biased with that one. You know.
No,
Well, I'd also argue though that the
You're not
circumstance is different because the Thunder don't exist in the Eastern Conference. That's really what it is. Like the East is a little more open than the West.
Especially like the one team that was inevitable, it felt like in the East the past couple of years was Boston. And even them, they weren't able to have consistent dominance. Like teams got their own against them. So it's like,
Yeah,
I don't know if
I don't
if
know. I
you're
feel
having-
like you guys don't put enough value on the fact that they went 7 games against OKC. Like they weren't blown out in 4 or 5. And again, yes, they were blown out in that game 7. Yes, but by that point, they were done. So I'm saying if you could just retool this team,
But that's the thing. It's
be
the
less
if.
competitive.
Yeah,
It's the
I
if.
think-
If you can retool this team,
right.
It's
I'm
we need to
saying
see
as
the
it's
how.
constructed
That's
as
all.
what we see right now.
Yeah.
I don't see. Again, they have to make a change. By the way, I had a situation like you earlier. You said I must be blind. I thought that when it says Vlatko Cancar, I don't know why I saw Vince Carter, and I'm like, Joel, you
Right?
got to fix this.
I'm telling you,
I'm
man.
like, Joel,
I don't know if I'm
lot.
tired or what, but his writing sometimes, man, it sends me to another realm. Look,
Spelled it right.
the only thing
No,
we
I
can
thought it
do-
said Vince Carter for some. I looked at it at the corner of my eye, and I'm like, bro, Vince Carter ain't been in the league for like 3 years.
Yeah, you about to be commentating. The only
He had
thing-
one more in him, man. I don't know what to tell you.
The only thing we could do, Mike, is play the what if game, simply because we understand that organization knows they can't stay the same. Now, if money forces you to stay the same, then that's
Money
a
might
bigger
force
problem.
them to stay the same. Look at that.
No,
Look
but
at
I'm
that
saying
salary.
you have sellable pieces. You do. Now, it's all going to depend on what you get back for those said pieces. So that's why I say it's a what if. They know they can't stay the same. You know what I'm saying?
The Nuggets president brought up a Jokic trade situation earlier.
He did. Yeah. He did.
I think I'm not alone in them feeling like, yo, as we're constructed, our championship window might be closed.
Yeah,
To me, that's weird if he's feeling like that, because that means you're not even trying the idea of maybe shipping one or two pieces out for pieces that maybe better suit your team to see if you can make a run that way. The fact that you're saying we're looking at trading our best player is insane.
It was wild. It was a wild thing to bring up. Yeah.
Well, if we're gonna keep doing the Bucks comparison, right? Like that's what people are saying the Bucks should do. Is like the Bucks window was closed. They need to try and move Giannis to try and to get more draft capital or younger pieces. And it's
it's different though, Mike.
Is it?
It's different because let me tell you, it's different. You guys keep telling me there's not much you can do with that Bucks team to get better. I am saying somebody will take Jamal Murray. Somebody will take Michael Porter Jr. Somebody will take Aaron Gordon. Now, it depends on what you get back for them. But you guys' two best assets are one you don't want to trade and the other one that you can't because he's injured. So I'm saying it's a little different.
Sure, but again, that's the what if scenario, because if we're looking at this roster as it is on the screen right here, and we're planning on trading 3 of the starting 5, I can't give you a prediction on how good that team's going to be when I don't know what we're getting back. So it kind of goes back to what Didge was saying initially. As it stands right now, every other team around them did get better. The Thunder are going to come back even better with more chemistry. They won a championship. The Lakers are going to have a full year of Luka Doncic, right? The Rockets just got Kevin Durant. So I don't know what the Nuggets, as currently stands, can possibly do. If they make a trade, you're not wrong. We just don't know what that trade would be yet. And it's giving me Milwaukee Bucks 2023 vibes, where it's like we're a couple of years removed from the title. You have that same core. You won with that core. There's still a good core, but everyone around them has now just gotten better, and you can't really compete. Injuries, of course, have hampered the Bucks since they won the title. But even if they were healthy, I don't think an aging Brook Lopez and Chris Middleton and Jrue Holiday would have been enough to win that title that year anyway. And I think the Nuggets are kind of at that point where it's just, I think every team around them has gotten better. They're going to have to make moves. Once they make those moves, we can revisit this conversation. I don't disagree, but we have to see it. That's really all it is.
We do not disagree. I'm just saying, if we can see that they can't stay the same, I would pray that they understand they can't stay the same. So
it seems like they're well aware. It's almost too aware. It's like, hell, hold on. Let's not trade Jokic. We're going too far there.
Because to me, trading Jokic, unless again it's like to an OKC, right? Or you want to send him to the basketball Siberia in Utah.
In Utah?
I don't really know.
No, Portland got something to say about being basketball Siberia.
Utah's gotten so many strays this stream for no reason.
It is tragic.
I don't really know about that. I don't know. The point I was making is that if you're Denver and you're trying to trade Jokic, the haul you're looking for can only come from a handful of teams, if that. You can count them on one hand, right? So it's like, because then you're talking a full, complete rebuild. And it's like, that's already one of the smaller markets. You're burying yourself if you trade away Jokic, unless you bring back like a godsend in return. And look, for anyone asking, we have no problem sending OG Anunoby and Karl Anthony Towns for Jokic to where you're not, dead in the water.
I ain't gonna hold y'all. We should probably stop talking about a Jokic trade before the unthinkable happens and the Lakers somehow get him.
Stop it.
The edits are already on Twitter. You already know
the Doncic trade, the Luka trade scared. Like I can no longer
without LeBron going to fuck.
You know what we were saying in January? There's no way that Luka is going to LA, and then it happened in February.
No fucking
like that's what I can no longer say that when it's the Lakers anymore.
Look,
they won. I don't know.
I tell you this: I can sleep soundly knowing the only way that will become my problem is if we meet them in the finals. I don't give a fuck if he goes to the Lakers. Okay, he stays out of the East. I don't give a fuck where he goes. I don't care. That's a NBA Finals problem. He stays out of the East. I don't care. Now, I better stop talking before I wake up and I go, oh, Jokic is on Miami. And I'm like, oh, that's the guy they already had. No, wait, what? Bam for Jokic. That would send me straight to hell.
Speaking of, we haven't talked about the Heat, and Bam has been in trade talks. We should. They haven't had a pick come up, so I haven't had a reason to bring them up.
I think they do have one, but I don't know if it's a first round.
Oh, shit. We still got to do the Clippers, too.
I forgot about them.
I think those are the only teams we haven't done. Oh, wait, and the Magic.
We haven't done a lot of teams, but I'm going to be honest. I really don't care about the rest of this team.
Well, the thing is, what reminds me of the teams that we need to talk about is they'll have a pick, but I feel like the same 6 teams have had picks.
They have all the picks.
Because everyone traded their picks.
I'll say this, Didge. If this team is thinking about trading away Bam, the thing that bothers me is they were apparently in the running for Kevin Durant. They were in the running for another player, I think, in the offseason. I can't remember. It was a big name. I can't remember who it was. Apparently, they're so high on Tyler Hero that they believe there is nothing we could ever trade and get rid of this white boy. Ever. And to me, it's like, if that's your mindset, then yeah, trade everything else and keep Tyler Hero and see what good that does you. You know what I'm saying? But you can't keep passing up opportunities to get good players because you don't want to trade Tyler Hero. You know what I'm saying? So to me,
why is Tyler Hero this valuable for them either?
I don't
he's
know.
good. Don't get me wrong. He is good, but
I don't know.
I would pick Bam over him, but I guess they don't have much else other than that.
Like, they literally have Superman playing center. What you mean?
That was good. That was good.
I didn't know what you meant. Like Dwight Howard? I'm like, oh, no, I see it now. I see it now.
Low hanging fruit. It was too easy.
No, that was great.
I honestly don't know what this team can do except for start to trade away assets to try to build up their draft capital and just go extremely young.
You know,
I think they traded this 20th pick. I don't remember seeing the Heat pick.
No, they did. His name is Kasparis Jakusionis.
From Illinois?
Yes. Good shit.
I saw the thing about the 2 Illinois picks going back to back, but I swear they did not have the Heat underneath his name.
I noticed ESPN is calling some of these players wings. I've never seen that before.
Yeah,
like this one, Drake Powell.
It's interesting.
Like, I'm not used to that.
Fascinating.
Wings, the guard forwards. Like, that's a thing. It really is a thing because those guys that are small forward, like stretch forward guys.
I don't think.
You know.
I guess to circle back to the Heat, they have. I don't see this roster as constructed again being contenders, right? Like.
Not like
no, not contenders.
Like,
do you mean playing contenders or like championship contenders?
I guess playoff contenders, right? Like you are you at least, and when I say playoff contenders, I mean top 6, right? Like not going to the play-in.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't see it.
You know, I'm gonna have to agree with the great legendary Hall of Famer Pat Riley and just say maybe he is washed. You know, because I don't know what you can do. Where do you go from here?
Honestly,
like I don't know.
Their window's now officially closed. Now do you?
It is shut.
So according to Vegas, you know they do the odds on who Bam's top 10 landing spots are.
Photoshop the Lakers jersey. I already know.
That is number 1.
See,
damn it,
that is number 1. But I was gonna ignore them because we knew that they were number 1.
Changed.
They got Grizzlies, Spurs, Kings, Mavericks, Bulls, and Celtics. Those are the other likely candidates.
We didn't talk Mavericks.
We did it.
No. I had it up, but we never talked about it.
Damn. Yeah,
it was the first slide I brought up. We just completely went
maybe,
you see, it was up when I got here. I assume you talked about them already.
No, we were talking the finals. All right, yeah, let's talk the Mavericks then, because this is a perfect segue. So if we were the Mavericks and we were trying to get Bam, who do we have to get that? Let me go back to the trade machine so I can know how the money works on this.
There you go.
Can't trade Kyrie. Don't want to trade Kyrie either. He just resigned, didn't he?
Yep.
They just drafted what's his name?
Cooper Flag.
They they want to definitely keep AD, even though they loves playing power forward, which means Bam can play center.
So Bam, we got 34 mil to have to get off.
So how much is Derek Lively and PJ Washington make combined?
PJ Washington is 15.5. Derek
Lively.
Lively is 5. So the trade will still fail.
Yeah, obviously you need like another 10 mil, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
So
much does Najee make?
let's see. I don't. Oh, 8. So that's just about.
That might do it.
No, it said it failed because of that.
How much?
About 2 mil.
Oh, you can throw.
Because Bam is 34.
Oh,
We got a second round pick somewhere we could throw it here.
How
Just
much
like
is,
put that rookie contract on there.
Caleb Martin, how much he making?
That's what I was thinking. That'll work. So you have to give up PJ Washington. We give up PJ Washington, Marshall, Caleb Martin, and Derek Lively. Derek Lively for just Bam.
For just Bam.
You got to get a pick and you got to get a
You
pick.
have to throw in another team to take some of that
That.
extra shit.
Then you bring in the whole wrinkled. I feel like Bam in a pick, Bam in a second pick.
You definitely want to get a center if you can, because Anthony Davis is constantly talking about how he hates playing center.
That's why I'm like Bam can play center.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're just forcing Bam to be center at this point.
Yeah. No, but that's why it's like if we are going to make a trade and we are going to move off of Derek Lively, you definitely want to get a center back.
Yeah.
In whatever deal you do.
That's why the first thing I thought was Derek and PJ, but obviously that's not. It's like 20. It's like,
Yeah.
They just re-signed Daniel Gafford, so
I mean, if they could swing this, that is a really good starting 5. Kyrie, Clay. I'm assuming you're putting Cooper Flag at small.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis and Bam. That's a starting 5. That's dangerous.
cool.
But
yeah, that'd
then
be really good.
I don't know what you got in terms of depth. Because I'm assuming you have to let a lot of those free agents walk then,
You
right?
still have Gafford. Yeah, you lost Najee. Brandon Williams, you probably could fit him in there somewhere. Some of these guys are free agents, though. Like Brandon Williams, a team option. They can always pick it up. Not
Right.
Spencer's free.
They're already over the tax threshold.
They are.
Well, that's why I'm thinking you would
Yeah,
have to let you kind of have to let Brandon Williams walk and all of the other free agents. Powell, because it's a player option, it's already factored in.
I'd fire him. He sucks, yo. I never understood how.
But I mean, because it's a player option, it's not up to. I mean, I don't know how that. Because then you're just dead cap if you just cut him. If he says, "Yeah, I want to come back," and you go, "No, well, you're cut," you're still paying.
Yeah, but the count towards the salary.
I think so. At least for this season, we were paying Larry. We were paying. I forgot his last name. Larry
Sanders.
Sanders. We were paying him forever.
Yeah. You stretched him though. That's why, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How
We
much
stretched
is
him far too long. We drafted that man when I was a
Yo,
teenager, and we
hey,
just
yo.
paid him off.
I think he's done now.
I like Larry Sanders though. He's pretty good.
He was good for that 2 years. He actually played ball.
Right?
Then he had some type of anxiety or whatever.
That's what he says. I don't know. It was annoying.
Yeah, he had upside for sure.
Atlanta just picked up. Oh no, is this still just from the pick from earlier?
I'm on New Orleans. Oh, they traded it. That's right. Yeah. So yeah, that's from the trade from earlier.
Okay, I was gonna say damn, they traded it again.
No, that's now the Atlanta. Now
Right, because the Atlanta part of it.
Derek Green got drafted for New Orleans. So
Oh,
now
we didn't talk to Magic. I guess we could talk them.
That's fair. They might make some noise. All right, this goddamn it.
I'm shocked they still
the
had a
new
pick.
logo. Boo.
Yeah, it's terrible. It looks so bad.
I like the colors.
I mean, they didn't change the colors,
I love the color. It's black and blue.
but
Asanul forward. That means he's like.
what you got on the Magic, Joel?
What I got? I like the Desmond move. I like Desmond Bain has always kind of been like that third guy anyway, where he was in Memphis. Now coming here and basically be the third guy in Orlando. He's another offensive punch to add to Paolo and Franz, who are very young. Now, Desmond Bay makes the most money in the other team. And then you put if Suggs is healthy, because I don't know if Suggs kind of got hurt this year where he couldn't play. Suggs actually had a good year before he got injured. Really good defensive point guard to put next to Baines, who's another decent defender himself. I like it. They need an upgrade at center, but now with all the money going to the rest of the team, they might as well just keep Wendell unless they can trade him for assets, some type of assets, and maybe go with Mo, or I think Mo's the team option though. It depends. I guess. I mean, they also have what's the name, Goga. So they have center options. Even Isaac could play some center. I think that's their biggest weakness. So we'll see if they draft one.
I am curious.
Yeah, but I do like their starting five. Their depth isn't bad. Anthony Black took a step up. Not much, but he did take a step. Gary Harris free agent. Corey Joseph free agent. Caleb Houston is a team option. Obviously, some of these young guys like Da Silva and Jet Howard, I'd like to see them actually step up a little bit because they really kind of like Tristan kind of had a decent year until he didn't, and then Jet's been quiet since he's been drafted, in my opinion. So I don't know. The bench needs some work, but I think the start five not bad because if Desmond could even play, take some pressure off of Jalen. Doesn't have to constantly be the main point guard because I think Desmond can run some point at times too. So can Franz and Paolo, honestly. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I like it. They're going to be dangerous. They kind of fell off a cliff last year because they were starting really strong. Obviously, the injuries got in the way, but and they kind of fell back to earth towards the end of the season. That's why they finished where they finished.
Yeah, I think it was like you said, injuries kind of. It was it's tough to keep the team together.
Got hurt for a while. Franz got hurt for a while. So I get it. And Suggs definitely got hurt. He never came back.
Right.
So yeah, they dealt with that. But overall, I think they're going to be someone to be reckoned with for sure.
I would agree. I don't have anything negative to say. I like how you got Mac McClung here as if he's doing meaningful work for the team.
Well, look, that says two-way, and right here is a free agent. That's nothing better than anybody else next to him.
That man
Probably Queen actually played for the
contest.
That man played 10 minutes all season.
Because he's only here for slam dunk contest, dude.
Listen, that is dunk legend Mac McClung.
There you go.
You're right.
He's gonna be known as Dunk McClung, but
Will be.
Listen, he's done something that LeBron James never could, and that was enter the dunk contest.
That's fair.
Yeah, you start talking to me about Kevin Durant elevating teams. What about this dunk legend, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Let's have a real conversation.
Single-handedly saved All-Star Weekend multiple times. But no, I mean,
It's a great white hope.
let's not use that turn of phrase in Trump's America, please. And
Yeah.
Oklahoma City traded their pick.
Did
I
they?
mean, shit, they have enough to spare. They still have what, 30?
Yep.
Overall, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Sacramento is trading for it, so Sacramento traded in.
Did we talk about Sacramento?
Do we ever need to?
Yeah. Do we want to talk about Sacramento?
Nah, I mean,
you tell me. There they are.
No, we don't need to. No.
Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan.
I'm going to tell you why we
this
don't
is
need
just
to
the Chicago Bulls from like 2 years ago.
Come out. You want to know the best part? They're talking about maybe going to go get Lonzo Ball. They just want to become Western Conference Bulls. That's what I'm saying. We don't need to talk about them. They don't know what the fuck they want to do.
Expert analysis, Joanne. We can move on. Yes.
I had such high hopes for Keegan Murray at the beginning of the year.
Bro, when I heard that, I was just like, how many Bulls players are you going to try to get, man? Like, how many?
That's the thing. Keegan has kind of been adequate, and maybe it's because he's playing behind all these dudes.
Maybe.
But I don't know. I don't love him. I'll say that.
They just got Nick Clifford from Colorado State.
Is that who it was? All right, Nick Clifford. So he's going to Sacktown.
Yeah, he's another wing.
Another wing? Okay, well.
Yeah, that's about all we need. Markelle Fultz is on this team?
He was for half.
Not for long.
Bro, I thought he was retired.
Tell you everything you need to know, dude.
Yeah, I think we talked enough about them.
Go. believe Monk is available. No, he's not. I know they might. He's available for trade. I think they were shopping him. Malik Monk.
Like this team can't let Jay Crowder walk, guys. He's too important to this roster.
Jay Crowder. He came in. I thought they were going to use him, and then they just
Joel has
benched
his
him.
name that he's not.
I mean, look how low he is on the reserves.
He was not playing anymore. It was like he was why. They brought him in for like a minute. He played, I think, 1 or 2 games, and I never saw him again.
Wait, why do you have Jalen Bridges as a free agent, but he's not in the reserve section? Am I just blind and I'm not seeing his name?
Oh, maybe I missed him.
Okay, I'm like, wait a minute, how they get a free agent?
That's my fault. Then
Yeah, he's not there, but I mean, he's probably walking anyway.
No,
you
yeah,
want
for
to go
sure.
back to the Kings?
No, yeah, that's fair.
he's probably the other two-way. I forgot. Like, I knew there was something off here.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, no, I like I said, I think we talked enough about them.
Are we actually missing anyone?
That we
Like
really
team?
want to talk about? I mean,
Clippers.
we talked this. The Clippers. Duh. We just said we needed to talk to Clippers.
The Clips.
Yikes.
The Boats.
Oh, so they have the 30th pick.
Hey. Yes, they do for now. What's that trade?
I mean,
But why would they do that? Like, Derek Jones. and Harden
IDK
are-
looking at this roster. IDK.
I'm gonna go out on another hot take. I don't think that this team is a contender either.
Like a
Oh,
champion.
yeah, no, of course not.
Playoff contender. I think they'll make it, but are they gonna really make any noise? Probably not.
They definitely. I mean, they look good on paper, but then I swear as they got farther, especially in the playoffs, they cut right into that depth. Whatever depth they had, they barely used.
I felt like they've looked good on paper the last 3 or 4 seasons.
They have.
And it's just done nothing.
Like Kawhi and James Harden on paper looks great, right? And then it gets them to the playoffs.
years ago.
Kind of where they. Norman
You just-
Powell had a fucking great year. Like he was a borderline all-star this year. Zubac also had a fucking great year. You know what I mean? The problem is that bench was complete ass. The fact that you relied on Batum so much tells you everything. Batum's old. We're about to retire.
Yeah.
The bench needs work, and you just run into James Harden and Kawhi Leonard are on the older side, and they're kind of injury prone, and so like
Sure.
they do their best. Like James Harden will give you a 30-point game once in a while, but it's not going to be the 30, 35, 40 in a row anymore that he used to when he was in his Rockets days. And I think that's just what the Clippers are at this point. Like they'll make the playoffs, like you guys were saying, and they'll run out of gas because they'll get ran out the gym by the Thunder. That's been the constant in the West so far.
I do wonder if James Harden picks up that option, or does he go and shop himself?
I think he picks up the option because whatever he's making with that option, he has to know he's not commanding that in the open market.
Yeah.
You think he is? Let's look up what that player option amount is.
I keep
Not a lot
telling
of-
you, we
Not a lot of
went
teams with money though either. That's another
5
thing.
teams that we looked at and said,
Put
I
the
don't know.
Lakers jersey on him. We already know.
Oh my god!
teams are the teams that will throw
So
money.
A 36 mil player option.
36 million?
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
there's
1
at
year?
least 5 teams I could see being suckered.
Well, he's not going to. If he doesn't take that player option, he's expecting to get more than 36 million.
Yeah,
So you're talking 45, maybe.
Where's he going to get that? From what team?
any of those 5 basement dweller teams we were talking about. Any of those 5. Pick
Well,
a
why
random.
would
Jazz
they-
catching another stray. Yeah.
The
Any
Jazz.
of those 5
That
basement-
was definitely who he meant. He just didn't want to say it for the 5th time. I get you.
You think they're saying no to talent? Like,
But
no
is
one's
he
told
saying
me-
yes he wants to go there? At this point,
Yeah.
he doesn't have his ring. So at this point, he's going somewhere where he thinks he can get a ring, right?
Yeah, is he in ring chase mode, or is he just in I'm going to make bank mode before I retire?
Yeah, you
that's
can't
really
get
the
both.
question.
You can't get both. You cannot get both.
Might as well just stay with the Clippers then. For that.
Right.
Well, that's why I said I think he'll pick it up. Yeah.
No.
No, I was just speaking to you guys saying no one's going to want to pay him that. And I'm
I
like,
still
well,
don't think
no. People will pay him that. I just don't know if he'll want to go there, but people will pay him
Fair.
that.
I guess I meant meaningful teams. want to pay him that.
This is smart
Yeah.
team.
The teams he would want to go to. would
Right,
work, yeah.
right,
And
Like,
those
he could-
teams are trying to figure out ways to keep their guys, let alone bringing in someone new.
right.
Well, you know, there's a team in the Midwest that needs a point guard if he really wanted to.
You really want to go after James Harden?
No, him and Giannis hate each other. That would be chaos. I kind of want the drama, but that would be chaos.
Yeah, that'd be funny though. You guys don't have the money for that.
No,
Shit,
no,
if you're
not at
telling me
all.
we gotta
We'd
do
be
is
at-
get you
we'd
guys
be at a
out of
metaphorical
Lakers
third
ass.
apron.
That is crazy.
Metaphorical 30. That'd be funny. What else we got here? Portland? Talk Portland.
Oh,
Drew Holiday. I
Let
forgot
that-
that trade just
let
happened.
that man come home. Do the right thing by Drew Holiday.
Drew-
and
No,
send
we're
him
gonna
out.
hit the third apron again. You know how much he's getting paid right now?
Apparently, they
37.
really wanted him. Like, last time, obviously, when they traded for Drew Holiday, it was okay. We're still going to trade him around, try to get other assets for him. I was reading a thing that I guess Detroit kind of wanted him. I forgot what other team. It might have been Memphis. But they were like, this time around, Portland was like, no, we got him because we want him, not because we're trying to use him to get other assets.
Interesting. I don't know what he does for this team, but
I don't neither.
good for him, I guess. The Portland Trailblazers are just such a enigma right now.
It was
Like,
such a weird move to do it.
I need them to get rid of Drew Holiday and DeAndre Ayton, not because I think that they are not worth to be on this roster.
I'd rather have Drew Holiday and Jeremy Grant. Get rid of Jeremy Grant. And DeAndre.
Him too, but those three players are players I think deserve to go somewhere where they can be meaningful.
I agree. All three of those guys deserve that.
Like,
They
Portland-
should go for- yeah.
We called Utah Siberia of the NBA. Portland is very much the next. Like
Next up.
they might be the desert. Like if we're
I mean, they're far up north. They're not Seattle high, but they're up there. You know? They're not Minnesota high. Not many teams are.
I just don't get what they're doing because you think after trading Damian Lillard, they'd be in like full on rebuild.
And they are. They got Scoot. Oh shit, my bad. Scoot, Shadon Sharp, Klingon. You know what I mean? Denny, Kamara. They have young guys. It's just now they got a lot of money invested in Ayton and Grant and now Holiday. And look, usually that's a good thing. Like here's the difference: the Rockets did it, but they did it the right way. When they had all these young guys in the up and coming shit, and then they signed Fred VanVleet.
Yeah.
To be their point guard, and that made sense. Dylan Brooks, they added vets at a reason, even though they got paid, they could afford it, and then that took them. Look where they're at now. Don't get me wrong, Ime also a really good coach. On top of that, but they did it right. To me, I don't know if the Blazers are doing it right, even though they have the right idea. I don't know if they're doing it right.
Did they fire Chauncey Billups?
No, he's still there. Yeah, no, they did not.
Okay, they got. Actually, I don't know. He hasn't shown me that he's a great coach. I guess.
No, I don't know. They look defensively. They looked really good towards the end of the year. Like Portland stepped it up towards the end of the year, especially defensively. I think a lot of their issues came from the offense, but I don't know. They're definitely an enigma because I think I know what they want to do. They're probably trying to do what Houston did. That's what it looks
That's
like.
wrong.
There's no other reason
Is that meant
to do it.
I just heard something like grinding. I didn't know what it was.
Oh, I thought that was someone with like some stomach growl. Someone.
Oh, right.
either one of those?
All right.
But yeah, the Blazers just in a strange spot.
They really are.
Yeah.
That's what I'd call it them though. Let's see. I know we definitely missed a couple.
That might be.
Almost all of them.
Did we do it, Joe?
I think we did.
Chicago. We didn't talk Chicago or
Did we talk the Cavs?
No, we did not.
Oh God, I guess we didn't do it. Chicago, I got nothing on them. I didn't even see who their pick was, but I don't think
I don't either.
I don't. They're they're in that 8 to 10. Like that's probably.
They were the 12th pick. So they got a Singwe. That's right, from France. The
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, they're still that
another
doesn't move the
European
needle.
Frenchman.
8 to 10. That's probably where they're going to be again, unless they make changes in free agency.
Get ready for the play-in, buddy.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, they might make. I mean, I heard they're shopping Kobe White and Lonzo Ball. We'll see.
I'll take Kobe White.
I'll take either one, but
Kobe White.
I can't believe Vucevic is still on this
Kobe White's
roster.
more expensive.
It's
That's why.
insane.
I'm just saying I'd prefer not to have an injury prone
I
that's fair.
don't disagree. I'm just saying.
any more than we do. But if you're talking just pure talent wise, of course I'd take Lonzo Ball. I think if he didn't have injuries, everyone would take him. Shit, Chicago would keep Lonzo Ball. But
I
don't even know what Lonzo Ball is without the injuries, though. That's how often
It's
he's
been
out.
so long. Right? So 2.5 years, and he played a little bit, and then they sat him down for the rest of the year. I was like, all right,
Yeah.
thanks for coming back for 5 minutes. This kid's good though. Ayo Dosunmu, I like that kid.
I
They're
don't
trying
know
to
much
trade
about
Patrick. You don't know much. He's good. He's good. Patrick Williams never should have signed him. That was I never understood them signing him last summer. I'm like, why are you giving him? We barely. No, it was stupid. Now they're literally paying for it. Trey Jones actually looked better, and Zach Collins. They both look better in Chicago than they did in San Antonio, which was crazy. I'm like, why are they playing so much better? It was crazy. I was like, why? I don't get it. Kevin Herter looked pretty decent. He was in and out of the rotation. Looking at the reserves at least. Giddy's restricted. Giddy had a good year. He really did.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He really did.
Interesting.
Dylan Horton Tucker's a good player. I don't know why he barely made this team, but he made it. So that's Chicago.
And then I guess to round us out is Cleveland.
I would have to keep going, but here's Cleveland. Bang. The team that did barely, they did almost nothing last summer.
They are
And
so
got better.
far past the second apron. for
Yeah,
them to not have done anything.
So somebody's going to get traded. I think that's the main thing we just need to, like, who do you think is getting traded?
Yeah, that's crazy amount of money. Let me look at that, make sure that's right.
I assume you got it right, but getting traded I don't know. Like, is it one of the guards? I assume.
I know they
would have to
shopping.
think about.
It's gotta I feel like how many did Mitchell just resign?
I feel like he did. I could be wrong.
It's 2-8. The only teams that have higher are Phoenix and Boston. Oh no, Boston's now lower. They were higher.
But
What-
you see how many?
Phoenix being that high is still insane considering how awful
It is, and
Yeah,
they just
Donovan
had Mark
Mitchell
Williams. I
signed
really
his
don't know.
extension last year.
I don't get it.
So, yeah, he signed his extension last year. So that's
Mark Williams only makes $6 million. It's not that bad, and they just traded Micic in that trade, so maybe that did it. Let me see.
I think that's really the only thing you got for them is, look, somebody got to go, and it might be Garland because he's the one making the most this upcoming season.
That makes sense.
And I feel like you could probably get a decent haul for him, and you hopefully can put yourself under at least the second apron. That's really what you need to do, because that's when draft picks start going, right?
Yeah,
So
the Israeli-born player just got drafted. Ben Saraf. Brooklyn Nets, another guard.
told you the same, like 6 teams are drafting.
Yeah, no, but they had literally like 5 of this.
That's true.
5 first round.
So
That's the difference. Ben Saraf. Okay.
I don't think we got anything else for Cleveland.
Cleveland, yeah, they're kind of not to say they're boring, but they're boring.
No, they are. They have money problems. They have to figure that
Hunter
out.
was a great move at the deadline. Ty Jerome, they're probably going to lose. Sam Merrill, they're not going to lose. Like, I'm not going to.
Bucks legend Sam Merrill.
Yeah.
You heard it.
Yeah, look, he shot fucking out of his mind last week. So,
Yeah, like they have money issues, and it's also just like I don't know what you can really do to improve this team. I mean, they were the number 1 seed, and then they choked. So, like,
Yeah,
as is, they were the best team in the East, and then they choked. So
it's fair. You can trade Struz if you want. You got Hunter
Strus-
and Okoro.
Strus. It all depends on what you think you're getting back.
Fair
Because
enough.
Strus, his salary next year is what, $15 million? That'll
Yeah.
theoretically put you underneath the apron, but that's based off of who you get in return for that. Like
That's all.
that
That's
is
just
the
second name.
yeah, seriously. That's what I'm saying. Like their biggest thing is you gotta unload if you're going to try to do anything to be competitive,
You can't.
you
trade.
gotta unload. You got to.
That's my fault.
I think you have to.
Oh, right. Yeah. That was
So
my fault. We only missed one team.
what team was that? Is
Did we
it a
talk
team
Raptors?
that
I had Raptors, but I don't think we ever talked them.
Oh no, we didn't.
I had it up, but no one. I don't think we talked.
that might be the
You know they're looking to trade RJ Barrett, so that team's a big question mark. So they start to figure out how to not make that roster. So
We also didn't talk Celtics.
we didn't? No, we just talked
We-
through them through multiple teams.
Yeah. They were. They
Um,
made two big trades.
Yeah,
Wow.
while we're on the Celtics for now, it really just depends on what happens with with the Jaylen Brown rumors swirling around right now, and of course Tatum's out for
I'm be honest
the
with
whole
you.
season. So
If you're Boston, you should look to trade Derek White for whatever you can get, and you keep holding on to Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Only reason I say that is I'm not sure if either one can carry this franchise without the other. And I think that sets you back drastically. I know I've had this conversation at nauseum with Didge not thinking Tatum was that guy, and preferring Brown. Me thinking Brown wasn't that guy and preferring Tatum. I think what we can kind of come to the agreement of is they need each other.
No, that's fair.
Now, once they're together, you can argue who's better, because sometimes one steps up over the other, but I don't think Jaylen Brown can lead this team to the finals without Jason Tatum this year, and vice versa if that were, God forbid, ever to happen. So to me, you don't trade Jaylen Brown. I'm sorry. Because to me, I'm just like, I don't know realistically what you get that makes you better this year. Because remember, it's not like Tatum comes back in December or January. He's not coming back at all. So it's like,
Yeah.
you trade
You gotta hold
Jaylen
on to
Brown
one of
away.
them. Yeah. Fair enough.
What do you think this team
You could
is?
still. You could. I mean, if you need more space, you definitely need to trade Derek White.
No,
But,
I'm saying if
or
someone-
Simon, you could just reroute Simons if you want.
To me, if someone needs to be traded, it's the first two guys.
Yeah, I think they were high on Simons. Like I thought that was the reason why they went out for him. Was it purely a money move?
No, I think they wanted him. Because that's a
Both.
very specific move to make. You could have made any move. But
True.
I mean,
think-
it helps that
I think
because we
both
know without
sides
Tatum,
has a
Simons
big
is a great offensive weapon. You know.
to me, I personally think you trade Derek White, you shore some things up, and Al Horford, I don't think is staying. So
yeah, I was about to say, how much juice does Al Horford still have?
not
I
much.
said that 5 years ago. He's still playing. You know?
Al Horford might retire. Like I get it, he's still on here as of right now,
I
but
don't think so, Didge.
you don't think so?
Mm-mm.
That man is in his 40s, isn't he?
Mhm.
It's almost like if it's not in his 40s.
He's 39, so he'll be 40 by the time that. No, he
Next
just turned
season.
39.
And he's giving you decent effort. That's really what it comes down to. It's not like he's a starter anymore. He's not LeBron,
No.
but he's still because he can still play.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, I don't know. This team has to be very careful because unless you're trying to pull a Dallas Mavericks thing where you trade Jaylen Brown and then just tank while Tatum's out and then bring Tatum back with that number 1 overall pick, there's no need to risk it.
I mean,
And then
I
find it back and forward.
I really do think the Celtics might just take that gap year that I've been talking about. Like your guy is out, your main guy is
Yeah.
out. Like
Yeah.
you're not winning a title, so like, do you just go tank route?
I think you do that without doing that. You keep one of Luke Cornett or Horford at least. You probably trade Derek White for pieces. You probably get more than one piece for that and a pick. You know.
Wait, hold on, time out. You guys think the Celtics would go the tank route with keeping Jaylen Brown or trading Jaylen Brown?
Keeping Jaylen Brown.
Why would I don't understand that.
I mean, I'm saying do whatever.
I don't think it would be a full on. I don't think it'd be a full on tank. It would be we know we're not going to win it all this year. We might be 5th or 6th seed.
I wouldn't call it tank.
That's what I said. I don't think it's we know we're not going to win. We're gonna just.
It's one of those like if we suck bad enough, I'm gonna tank at the end of
Right.
Oh yeah,
Right. Like if you're at
I'm
the
saying-
6th seed with like a month and a half to go, you could say, well, let's just fall out of this. I don't know.
Right.
Think about
Oh,
it.
Jalen's hurt. Fuck. How
if
that
you get to
happened?
that point, but I'm saying the East is the most open it's been since LeBron was here, right? So for me, it's kind of just like I don't know if necessarily, depending on what you do to surround Jaylen Brown and Simons, I don't know if this team can't still be good. Championship wise, I don't know. It depends. We have no idea, right? So I'm like, it's wide open. I don't know because you guys were just saying the Pacers could still be a legit threat.
Pacers are different. They're missing one guy. They're very deep and have one guy.
No,
Yeah,
but I'm saying all the Celtics are missing is Tatum. You still
No,
have.
no. They just traded 2 of their starters.
I know,
And
but
now-
you guys were just telling me Porzingis ain't got it. And then-
Oh, no.
I was saying Porzingis ain't got it.
so I'm like,
So
I don't
I
know.
think it just comes down to how you value Jason Tatum and Tyrese Halliburton. Like that conversation that we had about the Indiana Pacers was that team is probably the 2nd deepest in the NBA. And you can make the case that Halliburton was not their best player. Jason Tatum is the Celtics' best player. They're not as deep as the Pacers. Losing him is such a massive blow. I don't know if they can be better than a 7 seed. currently. That's all.
Then that means then the conversation has to drastically change about Jaylen Brown. Because I think Jaylen Brown can keep you between 4, 5, and 6, depending on how you surround him. If you trade Derek White, get some more pieces that you can add to the bench, help out the starting 5 a little bit. I do think Jaylen Brown is that gifted. He can keep him around 4, 5, or 6.
It again, just what we always run into is you're speaking in a hypothetical. I don't disagree. I don't know what those pieces are that we would trade for hypothetically to surround Jaylen Brown.
They just got a Spanish
You know
wing,
what?
by the way.
You know what? Let me take that back. Subtract Jason Tatum, right? Obviously, because he's injured. I think Simons, White, Brown, and if Horford stays, and whatever you get to fill in that 4, I think Jaylen Brown can still keep them 4, 5, or 6. Jaylen Brown,
that's where I'm
can
iffy.
elevate himself
That's all.
that much. I really do think he's been waiting for a chance to showcase that he can be that guy, and now he'll be given center stage. And I think he'll rise to it. I definitely think he'll rise to it. It's a very well coached team. I think 4, 5, or 6 is realistic for how wide open the East is. I really do. I do. So
They got
Celtics just
Hugo
drafted
Gonzalez. Yep.
you said the
Which
Celtics?
team?
The Celtics, they got a
Celtics.
Spanish wing, Hugo Gonzalez.
Oh, the only Gonzalez that matters in Boston is Christian. So.
Oh, okay.
You got Hugo and Christian. They're gonna
Let's
be
be black
better.
out. Christian Gonzalez. The GOAT. To me, I still, unfortunately, very sickeningly, have faith in what this franchise could be able to do. Again, if they take a big swing and trade Jaylen Brown, then we don't need to talk Celtics anymore this season. They're definitely just tanking, 100%. So Tatum gets back. But if they keep Brown, I think they can be competitive. I do. I really do.
Charlotte gets
That's fair.
Yeah, Mike, I'm sorry. All night's just been me playing the what if, but I just have to give these organizations more I guess more faith than some of them maybe deserve. Is that if we know these changes have to be made, I assume this is something that they've seen a mile away, right?
Man, you would think, but organizations be messing up.
Yeah, I mean, like the Bucks
Oh,
thought
but-
Kyle Kuzma was a fix. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna keep harping on that.
I mean, that's fair. But look, the odds are all these franchises can't be that inept, right? Like one of these are going to strike on, smartening up and fixing something, whether it's your Denvers or your Bostons or whoever. So I'm
You
just
would
having
hope.
faith in, not wasting your best talent years.
You would hope.
Yeah, and that's why I just keep reiterating that I'm not disagreeing with you. It's just we need to get firmly into the offseason and free agency and see how all this breaks out. In
Yeah.
a couple months.
Because I
That's
can't
all.
be right or wrong until we finalize what everyone's doing. Yeah, no, I get you.
Right.
I get you. Well, that'll be the fun, is what seeing how everyone shapes up and shapes out.
Yeah, this is very early on in the offseason. Like,
Yeah,
no one's
right.
looking at anything.
I definitely want to
to
revisit this after like the height of free agency, where we'll have a better idea
We can do it after, like, once
after July, when July's over, because by that point everyone should have been either traded, signed.
Right
Like,
before Summer League.
July, that's when like the free
I
agency.
mean, now, mind you, if the Knicks do anything, me and Joel will have an emergency podcast.
Of course.
So it's very solo.
I'll be in the comments of that one, just looking.
On a larger scale, anything that happens, we could probably just wait till it's all done. Last one here. Yeah, this seems just too redundant. So I'll give this team more credence once they move things around.
Yeah.
RJ has it going for it. You know what's going to suck about RJ being traded? The only one from Canada that won't be able
That
to
does
compete for his hometown. So, but yeah, sorry, you gotta go, RJ. Sorry. The moment they brought in Brandon Ingram, I'm like, oh well. Yeah.
I heard Toronto was looking at Derek White actually.
There you go.
I don't know if I like RJ Barrett, Jaylen Brown.
I'm not saying it was for RJ. Who knows? Well, I don't know what the package was.
Well, I mean, I assume, right? You don't go out to trade Brandon Ingram and give him up for Derek White or
No,
Scott.
not Ingram. I mean, you could always trade quickly in somebody. Yeah.
That'd be really interesting. Quickly, I don't want that because I'd hate to have to hate quickly. I don't want.
You might have to hate quickly.
I don't want to have.
Listen, man, we won a chip with Drew Holiday, and I still was like, okay, I hate you now. It's cool.
Yep.
It happens.
I had to.
It happened. Now I can go back to not hating him, so we're good. We're Gucci. But it was also
wait,
it was
what am
like,
I talking about? What am I talking about? The Knicks definitely did that with Kristaps. I ended up hating that man.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
what are we talking about?
yeah.
I mean,
Happens.
at this point, it just doesn't matter anymore.
I'm still not gonna kill you.
but yeah, I did hate him for a long time. Yeah, there's nothing really to say until this team makes the inevitable trade we all believe they're going to make. It's just who. It's the who.
Yeah.
But let's say they remove either Quickly or RJ, right? Or maybe both. I think Barnes, Ingram, and Jakob. I like that. I like that a lot. I like those three guys a lot. It's just what do you surround it with to finalize that starting five? That's going to be the biggest question. You keep Quickly. I like that a lot. You said what?
That was a wild statement.
I said, I know they
I was
like.
hoping you were going to switch it to Grady. Like, I like Grady. But...
No. His mama called him Dick. I call him Dick. And they,
okay.
So Grady Dick.
Standing with it.
It's too late for this.
Never too late. But yeah, I think I heard that they want to probably put Dick back into the line.
Mike.
Oh my god.
You know, guys, it's been a pleasure
It has.
hanging out with you for 3 hours, but
Has it been?
I like Dick is where I have to draw the line.
I think that's where I gotta call my. That's
Get Ron back in here.
I'm surprised he
And
didn't
that thing just popped
materialize.
up. I mean, fucking.
Yeah, he usually just hears it from the grapevine.
He just spawns. No.
I mean, there's not much to talk about with this team, like I said, until they make that inevitable trade. That I assume has to be coming at some point soon, you know? Probably once the free agency starts. When does free agency start? The 12th?
July something.
I feel like it's already started at this point. If we're doing trades and all this other stuff,
Yeah, but
right
those
now,
are
that's crazy.
Like
NBA
right now,
free
this week is
agency
when
starts.
you could talk to your own free agents this week.
Right.
I think next week is when it's the. I forget exactly. They had it. I don't remember.
June 30th, next on Monday.
Oh, that's right.
Start a
Right.
free agency?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
They can start signing the contracts July 6th.
There you go. So you can start talking June 30th. Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm. So you can start talking to them. They can verbally agree.
They can announce it, yeah, but they can't.
Well,
You won't get it signed until July 6th.
Contract signing on a Saturday is crazy.
Before you and Mike go, we do have to, me and Joel do have to combine, ask you a very important question since we're ironing out dates. When can we talk to Giannis? When can that happen? When can we get Giannis and Jason Kidd on the phone?
Never.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So Monday. Got it. Okay. Gotcha.
So
Gotcha. I just
we
don't
can
want to
start talking. We can start talking to Thanasty on Monday, and then he can talk to his brother.
Tampering. Y'all
He
gonna
was
lose
ours
your
first.
draft
We
picks.
drafted him. Okay, we tampered many years ago. All right.
And then if the worst thing we lose is a second round pick, and we get Giannis, worth it.
No, you just lose the contract. Remember,
Yeah.
the Bucks lost Bogdanovich.
Yeah.
Wait,
No.
hold on. So how did the Knicks only lose a second round pick then?
Because y'all the Knicks and y'all get special privileges. Our entire contract was null and void. It was crazy.
No,
It was.
I don't say that, but
They are so lucky the Bucks won a title that year because I would have never forgave them for that.
Bro,
I still don't forgive him. Fuck Adam Silver.
I changed this whole the way I did the slides 2-3 days ago, and I had to redo all of them because I didn't like the way I had it.
It worked out.
Oh,
This was
man.
fun.
All of it within the
great.
last 2 days, bro.
We made it to the first round. I don't care about
Yeah,
the
that's
Clippers
great,
picks. That's all.
I only care about the second. That's the only pick I have.
You guys have picks?
Same amount as we do.
Those are-
One.
yeah, we still know what
You
those
don't have one.
Hopefully, one of us gets a Chris Middleton or a Nikola Jokic in the second round.
Right.
That's always nice.
For one of those draft stashes. Like, fuck, we never see this kid.
You never know. You never know.
47th pick. You guys got the 47th. We got the 50th.
But I do want to give a huge shout out to Joel for putting in all that hard work to put these slides together. They looked awesome.
Mhm.
Awesome, sir.
Joel.
Thank you.
Shout out to the meticulousness of my guy.
Getting all the numbers and data for us, massive
Right?
help.
That was great.
Did all those slides, and we still somehow at any given point forgot about teams, but we got through them. we got through
Yeah.
them.
I could have done them in order. It would have been easier, but like we were trying to keep up with the draft, and then we just fucking said forget it. And then because there was there was a lot of doubles and triples. We were doing the
Yeah.
same thing like 3 or 4 times.
Didn't you realize like there were teams that you didn't really care that much about talking about?
Like we barely talk about the Kings. Right? For any Sacramento fans, we apologize.
I don't.
No, if they're
No,
Sacramento,
no.
I know your team do better. Like,
Yeah. If you're a Sacramento fan, I apologize that you're a Sacramento fan. That's just a rough life, buddy. I'm sorry. Man.
Hold on, time out. We at least talk some Sacramento. When we put Brooklyn up here, we kind of just looked at it and then just
We were amazed
If
at how many
any
free
team-
agents and picks they had.
If
No.
any team's fans should be mad at us, it is Utah.
Yeah.
Oh, I tried my best to shit on them anytime.
They were the butt of every joke.
Yeah. Yeah.
Utah.
We were worse to Utah than Barkley is to the women of San Antonio. That's saying
That is
something.
true.
Oh.
That is.
That is true. I wonder if he'll be saying that over at ESPN. We'll see.
Here's my map. I
but
put
yeah.
a map together too.
Huge shout out to Joel for putting it all together. Huge
Yes,
shout out
definitely.
to Tidge and Mike for joining us.
My man.
Yeah.
You had a map?
Yeah, I do got a map. I got a map for every league.
Interesting.
Wow.
You
Yeah, I got plenty of shit, but this is my map.
Dakota and Montana need to get a team because
No,
we just
they
have
don't.
terrible coverage up here.
There's like
No,
no
they don't.
population.
I'm just laughing at the idea of like if someone were to ever hack Joel thinking they're about to get like some grade A shit and they're just like Star Wars maps and fucking NBA maps and this shit, man. Like where's the good shit? Joel's like, that is my good shit.
My good shit.
Like,
man.
That's all
His
I
cloud is nothing but just NBA maps. And they're like, where are the nudes, man?
No, the thief comes out of it knowing the entire MCU timeline and he's like, what the fuck, man? Like no
I have
nothing.
I have this the guards, starting guards from every team and their stats.
This is insane. Send this to me.
Hey, look what I've been working on.
I'm gonna.
So organized. And
It
in-depth.
is. I need this for when I talk shit about sports. Hold up. I will have the most data-driven shit talking ever.
And I got a
Now,
couple.
Well,
of-
get him the baseball
Wait,
one so Didge can become
Yes.
a fan finally.
Give me that one.
If this entices you, Didge, just know he also has this for geek shit. So if you ever want to have a deep ass geek conversation, timelines, schedules, all that shit. Joel is all.
I already need to know where you put Ironheart in the Marvel timeline. That's what I need to see.
I know where it's at. I'll show you.
That's
Joel's not fucking
crazy.
around. You think he's playing? He'll pull that shit up.
I did look. I designed these courts. Not easy. That was not easy. Some of these are very hard.
I love how Milwaukee has no logo. Keep it that way.
That's how it is.
Yeah, keep it that
Look
way.
at that one. That was a bitch.
Their logo will be OG Ananobi.
I'm gonna be in New York. I'm gonna talk to every New Yorker I know. I'm gonna start spreading the news that y'all should trade Cat. I'm like, yeah, I heard.
Yeah, I'll agree. For
No,
Giannis.
I'm going to say send him to Utah. I'm gonna be like, yo, I heard Cat to for Lauri Markkinen.
Why would you do that, bro? Why would you?
I'm gonna just start spreading it to every New Yorker I talk
What
to.
he did to a Pacers fan? Don't come out here. With that.
I will send it to everyone I talk to. That way, now when you start listening to your next podcast, they're gonna be like, yeah, I heard this weird rumor, Lauri Markkinen for Cat.
Yeah, I know exactly who it came from.
Oh, you will.
I got an address for this source, y'all.
Hilarious.
Oh my god. All right. So tomorrow we'll be on here to talk about Ironheart. James Bond's got its new director. Matt Reeves is still not Matt Reeves. James Gunn is still talking Matt Reeves shit.
He don't stop talking. That's one thing James Gunn will never stop doing, man.
I changed my mind, Joel. Send me this one.
I tried to tell you, did I not prepare you that he had this? I tried to tell you.
I'm gonna put it all in the Tableau dashboard and say it's mine.
There you go, Mike. You know right where Ironheart was. There you go, Mike.
I want to put the new.
By the way, Mike. By the way, this isn't the first time a show's done this. A show called Raising Kanan just did the same thing. I'm gonna need them to stop doing spoilers in interviews and then releasing them before a season is over. That's not how that works. Okay. That's
what spoiler did you get?
From Ironheart, from entertainment, from E Online. Was that?
Don't tell me. I didn't see it, and I forgot to watch the third episode.
No. I'm not saying it to anyone. I'm not saying it to anyone. I'm just Mike. You can text me later, but I'm just saying they gave a big spoiler. And it's like, why would you do that? Like, they literally interviewing the two stars of the show, and she's asking about something we don't have information of, and I'm like, why would you do that? Like, I don't understand.
That is interesting.
Yeah, and this isn't even like a mom and pop podcast. Like, this is
He really has a timeline. That's
what I'm saying.
You see what I'm saying, Mike?
I need you to send this to me. I want to look at this in my own time.
All right. You want both of them?
Yes.
They're pretty big files. I don't know where, like.
Just upload them to Google Drive, and then you can just share it that way.
Oh.
I'm just picturing now, in like 90 years, and they're like, "Where did Joel leave his kids?" It's like, I know exactly where he left them.
All this.
It's like, oh, like millions and millions? No. Those kids will know the DCU timeline, the MCU timeline, the Knicks timeline, the Yankees timeline.
You got to build another timeline in 2 weeks, man. Let's go.
That's my schedule. This is why I don't forget dates normally, because I have it all set up. You know.
I love it. I do love it.
Is this on your phone too?
Huh?
Is this on your phone also, or just your laptop?
No, it's on my Surface.
Oh man, if I had shit like this, it'd be on my phone. Show that.
I can't. It's just too small. I need space. Like, and that's why I love getting posters. I just add the new poster, the one I like the most. I'll put up as like my placeholder. Like the new Fantastic Four one looks really cool. I'm gonna use that one instead. But yeah, this is me.
All I can think about when Joel shows me this, you guys know the meme where it says all he's probably thinking about is women, and then it shows like the text bubble and the guy thinking about anything but women. That's Joel. That he's just thinking about where can I structure this new timeline. That's what he's up thinking about.
I got NFL one too, but it's not as elaborate as the NBA one. But I have it. I have one. It's not updated because it's like obviously we're in the off season now. But I'll show you.
Yeah, you have a problem. You're a sick man, Joel. You're a sick man, bro.
I get bored, and this is what I do.
Better use of your time than when other people get bored. They may be freaks, man.
That is true.
You know what it is, though? I like spreadsheets.
You should have went into data analysis. You know how many times I look at spreadsheets in a day?
It's a football, man.
Oh, God, Didge, for my data entry job, all I do is look at that shit.
Oh, I'm really good at Excel, if you haven't noticed.
Oh, yeah, I noticed.
You're right.
I lied and told them that I was. I am not. I struggle with that shit daily.
I got quarterback. I did quarterback just because. I didn't really need this. Is because I just felt like it.
Yeah,
what does yellow mean?
Look, I do my division.
Yeah, what does yellow mean?
Oh, yellow?
Mike, the thing I was just telling you about, I just sent you.
These are green. Green means they're pretty much starting. Yellow means I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's what it means.
Oh,
and
we
then,
are still live.
these are
I was
depth
about to
charts.
turn off my computer. Well, not
We
computer,
very
but the
much are
camera.
still live.
This is why
Juwan,
when
I have
text
now realized that all of your texts have been going to spam. I guess I never added your new number, so I am sorry.
Oh, damn.
Dang.
That hurts a
Because you said you texted me, I'm like, what? And it's like spam.
Damn, Mike, you said that on air too. Damn, bro. All right, we're in.
I got
I
you,
apologized on it,
I'm-
to be fair.
I'm gonna have to edit that out, Mike.
Okay.
But do you see what I
Merge
meant?
contact. I haven't even, no, I'm adding your contact. I haven't even opened it yet.
Dang.
That's hurtful, bro. All right, again, thank Joel for the amazing slides and all the work he puts into it. We're gonna have to get that geek one out and working tomorrow.
That was just
Figure out where
That's just fine.
and everything. The invitation is extended to Dig and Mike for tomorrow to talk some Ironheart.
I cannot, I do not remember where episode 3 ended, so I am not coming to spoil the show for y'all.
episode 3 ends with right
Do
after.
not say, because I had not finished episode
I was gonna
3.
say, Dig said he didn't see it. Joel forgot that fast.
That quick, he was just like, you don't care. You should have
Oh,
watched
I'm
it.
telling you right now, we're getting it.
I'm gonna watch it after this. It's still
Little
early.
giant kaiju shows up. I'm kidding.
All right,
that was
but
fun.
Mike, it's you see why I said that's crazy. They did that, right?
Yeah, that's stupid. I don't know why
Thank
they
you.
said that. That shouldn't have been. That should have been released next week. That should have been released
Exactly.
Oh, that thing.
Yes, if you know what that is, Joel.
I do know it now. Now that you're saying it,
Yes.
I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. But I tried to not watch that, and I did.
No. I didn't watch it. It was the article.
Oh, it was in the article?
An article.
this week. Yeah, but it's a tweet and it's quotes. And it's like,
Yeah.
Idiot.
It's a quote of
I
the
thought,
video.
I thought it was a video because I saw.
No,
a video.
it is a video, but I didn't watch the video.
Oh,
He
oh.
himself told me before I could even.
So this,
click.
yeah. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I saw the stupid video then. That's
Yeah.
my fault.
But all right, we'll talk a little bit more about this tomorrow. Then Mike, if that's the case, then tomorrow, not tomorrow, next week, we can talk it because we'll have already seen all
for sure.
by that point.
I'm excited.
But yeah, we will see you guys tomorrow. The normal Geek Show will be tomorrow. We're not skipping it. It'll be tomorrow. Oh
Thanks
shoot!
for-
I just
Everybody-
realized
21 people watching. Thank you for watching.
next week.
Oh,
the week
appreciate
after.
y'all.
Forget it.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.
live viewers.
We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Again, huge thank you to Dig and Mike. We had you guys going pretty late tonight, but we appreciate the fun.
I'll bill y'all.
I'll send it to Jamie.
I'll take it in V-Bucks. I've got Avatar skins I need to go get.
There we go.
All right, we'll discuss it. We'll discuss it. But all right, thank you guys for tuning in, and until next week, peace.